welcome to a new episode of High Rollers D&D. It is I, your classic dungeon master, Mark Sherlock Humes. Vintage. I am old. But no, welcome everybody. We are here for another episode of D&D with your usual wacky, insane, sleep-deprived crew. But it's going to be a good time. We have got on this side, we've got Ree, we've got Trot, we've got Kim.
I'm so alive.
And then on the other side, he's back, baby! Tommy H, Tommy Wombus, and Kate.
Hello.
As well.
I'm here too.
She's here too. Listen, it's very rare that Tommy Wombus is away. It's got to be celebrated when he's back.
I sat in your chair and I farted it all up.
I can feel it.
Yeah. Wow. Right?
Solid.
Gross. Only a couple of things that we're going to mention. You've heard about them before, but we're going to remind you about it because this is the way the internet works. If we don't talk about it all the time,
It doesn't exist.
it doesn't exist. So
God.
don't forget, you can go and get Insomnia tickets are available now. We will be there on the Saturday only, and we will be doing a live show in the evening. I want to clarify a couple of things. You can come to the live show in the evening without going to Insomnia during the day. There is a separate ticket. I've checked this. You can go to the thing, but if you want to come see us and do the meet and greet, you have to come into the Insomnia show. So you want to get a date, you want to get a ticket to Insomnia and come and explore the wonderful show and see all your favorite games and YouTubers and all that kind of stuff and see us. And we do a meet and greet and we'll sign stuff and chat to you. And then the evening show is the live show, and that's a separate thing. And you can get tickets to both. So there is the ticket to Insomnia, get the day ticket for Saturday, and then there is the ticket to the High Rollers live show.
What if I want my ticket early?
It's done. It's
gone.
done. It's done. It's gone.
It's like-
It's late now.
So
too late.
I should have done it last
You
week.
should have done it last
done.
week.
Yeah,
But you can go and get your ticket now.
Also,
it's just available now.
Available now.
a friend of ours, John Robotron, is doing the dark room immediately after us.
Oh,
There you go.
And
Double
I
bill.
I highly recommend the dark room. It is a lot of fun. So yeah, maybe go see that too.
And there might be some other interesting guests at Insomnia that you might want to go see as well. But yes, so that is Insomnia. Go and get your tickets now. We'd love to see you there, both for the meet and greet and the live show as well. And it'd be nice. We're kind of gearing up with doing conventions and stuff again. We've got some exciting stuff for the rest of the year, but definitely get involved in that. Cool. Then the next thing I want to mention is on the 8th of March, our Dune one-shot is happening. Dune Adventures in the Imperium. It's going to be a sponsored one-shot from our friends at Modiphius. We love Modiphius. If you don't know Modiphius, they do the Star Trek TTRPG system, the 2D20 stuff. They did Dreams and Machines that we did a one-shot for. Very good system.
They've just announced Discworld as well.
They've announced Discworld. They've done a ton of great stuff, ton of great game systems. We really enjoy working with Modiphius. And I got to say, Dune RPG, actually a ton of fun. Kim and I just went and saw the new Dune movie. We enjoyed it. The Spice Must Fly. Yeah, the Gomcha Bar. But yeah, we had a great time. So come and check that out on the 8th of March. Spread the word, get people to come and watch the live stream. One thing I always want to make clear, whenever we do these sponsored one-shots, even if you aren't a big Dune fan, even if you only watch High Rollers for the D&D 5e stuff, actually it really helps us if you come and watch these sponsored one-shots, because that sends a really great message to our sponsors and says that, we can get interested people to come and watch their stuff. So please do come and watch the Dune one-shot.
Also one and done. A good
one
thing
and
to
done.
show your friends.
Yeah.
Because it starts and ends and there's no pre-commitments.
There's no 200 episodes.
It's all explained, it's all wrapped up.
Yeah, I do my best to cover the an entirety of Dune lore.
Just like you did in the RuneScape one, right?
Just like I did in the RuneScape one, yeah.
We'll wrap it up.
I will get it done.
Yeah.
But that's it for announcements this week. That is pretty much it. So we are going to play the intro, and then we'll get into a brand new episode of Altheya. Not Erois, Altheya.
Well done.
Hello and welcome to episode 14 of Altheya, the Dragon Empire. Last time, after taking a job for the Lamplighters Guild, the heroes soon learned that there was more going on in Ashen Rest than first believed. After the Illuminator, Teresa Levendale was seemingly possessed or used as a vessel for some otherworldly force during the job of repairing some of the guild's magical lights, the group sought to learn more about what had happened and sought help in the matters at hand. The majority of the group met with the Elven Weaver, Blackwing, a mysterious and aloof individual who examined the strange enchantments that had caused the incident and revealed much about how the enchantments worked, as well as discussing the planar realms in general. After learning as much as they could from Blackwing, the heroes traveled to Bright Shadow Cathedral, where they met with High Priest Arden Savarin, a worshipper of Malir, who helped examine Teresa and also discuss the incident with the party, assuring them that he would bring this to the attention of his companion, the High Priest of Pyrrhus, as well as the local authorita and Duke in the morning. A new dawn. Days in Altheya. A new day dawns. Damn it! Damn it!
You're doing so well.
A new day dawns. Dyslexia, everybody. A new day dawns in Altheya, and today is the public audience with the Draconic Lord, Duke Ignarius. And that is where we begin today. You are all in the rooms where you are staying in the Clever Toad Inn or the Grumpy Hog, including Xanthius.
Oh. I yawn, I stretch my arms. Oh, a new dawn days. Days news, the dawn news.
Having left the group temporarily last night to deal with matters of his own, you all meet back up with Xanthius in the morning. I'm not going to go into any details. I'll come to that. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. You ready? You're primed? You want to get it done?
This? Oh, for the
Crucible of Fate.
Crucible.
You said a new dawn days, so
A new dawn days.
on a new dawn days, we
When
want
a
to do
new
the crucible.
when a new dawn days,
Look,
we roll
this
the
is unfair,
crucible
Mark.
fate.
You did so well.
Thanks, Tron.
Well done.
Thank you.
No,
Great.
he was laughing more than anyone else.
I was. I did.
You didn't say
Not at
heroics.
you, with you.
I didn't say Erois.
Didn't say heroics.
No.
As much as you
No.
try.
But now a new dawn has died. Do we
You
roll?
want to keep pushing this?
No, because I know you can kill me like this. You can
You want
Thanos
to keep
me.
pushing me?
We find
I've been
the
watching.
corpse of Xanthius.
I've been watching a lot of Dimension 20. I'm learning a lot from Brennan Lee Mulligan. I can make this a fucking nightmare if I want it to be.
Hey, it already is, my guy.
Right.
Old Zanny.
In that case, yeah, let's do Crucible of Fate. So if everybody can take a d6.
Yes.
1 to 3.
Yes.
I get a dice.
Okay.
4, 5, 6. You get a dice.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, I deserve this. I deserve
I want to see Katie roll.
A 3, I believe.
Oh, so starting with Katie, a 3.
I failed again.
I believe that's a dice for me.
Dice for you. I got a 1, which is a dice for you.
That's a dice for me.
I got a 2.
A dice for me.
Dice for us, please. A 5.
Oh, a 5 for Chris Trott. Dice for you.
And a second one, a 6.
A 6. A dice for you. And now I can place them on these lovely new pedestals. They are not finished. Chris Trott's printed these out. They're not finished. They will be painted. But
Sculpted and printed, obviously.
sculpted and printed. Yeah, no, you
A
sculpted them
fully
yourself.
custom
We now
model
have
there.
these lovely plates, which are going to be the crucible. These are the pillars of fate, perhaps now.
So you can see the dice at any time.
Yeah.
So
But more
you
importantly-
podcast listeners.
Except for you podcast listeners. But more importantly, you guys can also have a much clearer visual of like where the balance currently lies.
Yeah.
I just wish it was 5mm longer on
They
Me
can't
too,
see
Kim.
that, Kim.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It's
Just
fine.
a little bit.
It's fine.
Where's some paper?
Great. So yeah, the red ones are yours. The blue are well,
Yeah, and like
yours
we
now.
say yours and ours as a bit of a as a
Red
bit of
of
jokey
bad
meme.
luck, blue
It's
are good.
yeah, it's the idea with the fate is that, and also I think hopefully this will kind of lead you guys to remembering to spend them more as well. Like not necessarily always in combat,
right
but
there.
like on ability checks and including elements to it. Is the idea that fate is constantly shifting and it works both against and for heroic deeds and villainous deeds and things like that. It is a way of making life interesting.
If we did evil things, could we spend the red dice?
No, because they don't represent evil. It is
okay.
literally
Yeah, okay.
representing like the sort of destiny, your heroic destiny, and then the heroic destiny of other things in the world, like or the destiny of other elements of the world.
What if Tom is going to be Tom, wants to actively go against our heroic destiny?
I don't know why that would happen.
No, I think that it would still be your pool. But remember, you don't need each other's approval to spend dice from it. You can just be like, I want to spend dice. If Tom one day was just like, I'm going to spend a dice on doing this horrible thing, that's Xanthias'
Mark,
choice.
you didn't roll a dice.
I didn't roll a dice.
Yeah, it's meant to be 6.
There's 5 on the plinths.
A 4.
A dice
I believe
for
that's
us.
a dice for you guys. It's a nice balanced thing.
3 and 3, baby.
3 of each.
Cool. Okay, a new
Noot.
day dawns.
Yep, new day dawns.
Get wrecked.
What? When do we get wrecked?
Got him.
It is early in the morning, I believe. In fact, actually, I must correct myself on one thing. 4 of you awake in your beds in the Clever Toad. The 5th person does not wake up in a bed in the Grumpy Hog because they did not go to sleep at the Grumpy Hog.
Oh, yeah.
They fell asleep in the middle of the street with Percival the Skeleton, trying desperately to stay awake all night, watching over Percival, holding your position, ready for the audience, the public audience with Duke Ignarius. Percival shakes you awake as the sun begins to rise. More and more people are coming onto the street, and this is likely out of a duty of making sure that you are safe. Percival kind of shuffles you awake, bringing you out of that intense dream, Ophelia, that you had. Perhaps a divine dream, a divine visitation from the Grave Father or the Grave Emperor, depending on which part of the world you are from. And you wake up, the sun is beginning to crest, that pink and golden light coming in of the morning. And you can see that people are kind of beginning to look through windows, kind of like looking at you curiously. There are some people out on the streets going to their jobs or, setting up their shops, casting curious glances your way. You are a little bit dirty from having lain down in the cobblestone street. But yeah, you wake up and Percival is just trying to dust you off, basically, wipe all the schmuck from the road.
Percival! Oh, thank you. Percival, I grab his shoulders. I have been gazed upon by him. The Grave Father visited me.
Percival silently returns your look of excitement, and just, reaches up, takes your
Percival
shoulders.
Pogs.
No, he does. His expression never changes because he is a skull.
Yeah.
He cannot pog.
Okay. Damn
He
it.
is unsullied by mortal flesh. The Grave Father showed me his great plan, his great afterlife. My path has never been clearer, Percival. Like blood in a vein, my path has been decided. Flesh for the mortal, blood for the eternal. In his name, what a marvelous night it has been, Percival. I have a great feeling about this day.
Just nods, in agreement, yes, excellent, wonderful.
Oh, I'm such a mess, Percival. I'm such a mess. Thank you.
Begins dusting you off.
I guess we're waiting here, I suppose. Is there anybody else around?
He looks around and points. You can see that the members of the Stonemasons and Lamplighters Guild, they'd been having watched the street. Now that the sun is beginning to rise, more and more people are beginning to arrive and begin to sort of queue around you. You have you were approached by some regular-looking folk, just townsfolk. Are you waiting for the audience with the Duke? And sort of looking precariously in your direction.
Oh, yes, I'm holding my station. Thank you. Please.
Oh, yes, and they'll kind of move behind you. The members of the guild that you encountered last night kind of step up. Immediately, some of the more common townsfolk back away, knowing that these are members of the guilds, and allow them to kind of fall in place. And they do fall as agreed. Lamplighters ahead of you, stonemasons behind you. There's a little bit of grumbling from the stonemasons, but, maybe one of their members is you don't think you and your companions will take long, do you?
Oh, no, they were very keen to arrive here in good time. I shouldn't imagine they won't be too long.
Very good. Very good. They begin to sort of, form an orderly queue. And as they do, it's not long before you begin to see not the town guards, but from the ducal palace, from the Dominus Ignarum, the Duke's personal guard begin to arrive. They are all dressed in armor that has been colored in a dark metallic red, and it has draconic motifs. So their like helmets have like almost draconic faces. Their chest plates have like scale-like emblems and sort of wings on the pauldrons that kind of stretch out. Much more ornate, much more fancy. Not quite as elite as, say, like the Knights of the Realm, like Sir Griald, but very, very identifiable as the personal guard of Duke Ignarius. They carry long spears with pieces of fabric in orange and flame-like materials kind of dangling down, and gold, with shields that bear the Duke's crest, and they begin to basically cajole everybody. Like, if you are here for the public audience, if you wish to speak with the Duke, stay in line, form a line. They begin to gather everybody together, and they begin to watch the order of everything, basically. So as that gets ready, you are kind of left, having clearly established yourself in this order, Ophelia. The guards are happy for you to stay there, and like the other guild members are happy to honor their agreement that you came to, and leave things as they were. Yeah. Meanwhile, over in the Clever Toad, you all awake. Oh, yes.
Oh, the Clever Toad is amongst us.
He has arisen!
For podcast listeners, we have a Clever Toad now.
So cute.
So if
I spent too long sewing a tiny wizard hat for a fucking toad.
Well, and also adding the taxidermy stitches as well,
Yes,
I believe.
he's adorable.
Blasphemy.
Very good.
It had to happen.
I'm so glad I created this thing.
This is your fault.
You sound very happy.
Yeah.
Rowan
Yes.
gotten up early
Okay.
and would have head downstairs to speak with the kobolds. I don't know if my best friend is still awake.
No, he wouldn't be. No. He,
I just woke up. Hey.
You've been usurped.
Mother. Really?
You were away for one episode, and that's it. You're replaced by Kobold.
A kobold?
Sorry,
A swollebold.
a swollebold.
Kobold, yeah,
yes,
okay.
very
All right, fine.
I don't know if Gruffith is awake at the crack of dawn like he usually is.
Probably.
I imagine so.
It's a really big day, Gruffith. We are speaking with the Duke. We are declaring our writ, and I want to make a nice fish stew for everyone
Okay.
that I learned from Bliss. Can we get a fish?
Well, I don't know what the fishing's like round here, but I did see a river that way. I could give it a go.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Because I'm no good at it myself, you see.
It's not too hard. Well,
And I'll ask the kobolds if I can use their kitchen.
okay. It may delay us a little bit, but we can always try, see what's out there.
I'll ask the kobolds if they have fish. How
That
about
actually,
Yes,
that would
that's- I
save,
didn't think of that.
save.
I was gonna say it would be like take some time. Like you'd be talking like half an hour to an hour to like go down to the river. You probably can't fish in the river here, but there would be fishmongers that you could probably buy from. In terms of what the Tarek family here in the Clever Toad have, they have a very small station for cooking, but it's not. They don't have like a kitchen like cook a big meal. They have these little barbecue grills that they do for like bar snacks and stuff. But the actual kitchen is their family kitchen that is just for them and their family. And they kind of look at you and be like, guests don't normally go into the family bit of the house. That's how, we've got these grills. You could use those.
Right.
We got like some mushrooms, we got some meats, we got some vegetables, but we don't have any, I don't have any fish.
I cook for all of you as well. Like a family.
Yeah, and there's definitely a look of like, he could cook for us. He's like, oh yeah, but yeah. They kind of like mutter to each other, like, well, I suppose you could, yeah. I suppose apart from the night shift, so that's 8. So you'd be looking at, it'd be 16 of us plus you.
Yes, yes, I think that can be done.
All right. And yeah, they will lead you back behind the bar. You
What
go
an honor.
through a storage room into a sort of family home, basically. It's a bungalow, so it's all on one floor. When you enter, there are really only 2 rooms. There is a small kitchen. with a little stove and a little cauldron bubbling away and things like that, a little counter space. The rest of the sort of Tarek family area is one massive room which is just full of bunk beds. They're all stacked up. They're all kind of like piled next to each other. They actually go 3 high, kobold bunk beds, because kobolds are small, so they actually stack them 3 high, and there is just a row of them. And then there's a small place with a long dining table with little stools. These are small creatures. You are like scooping. You're almost like crawling through this base row. And when you enter, there are, at the far back of the room, there's like a curtain which is drawn over an area of the room. And the kobolds kind of whisper to you like,
Just be quiet, because some of the family are sleeping.
Is Barrack the Boulder in there?
Barrack the Boulder, Barrack the Ball. I see Barrack the Ball.
We've got a new nickname now.
Oh, all right. But yeah, he's sleeping. Yeah, him and the night shift are sleeping. But Mother's this way, and they kind of lead you. Mama, they would say, Mama, they would say. Mama's this way. Oh. And you go over to the long table, and sat at the head of the table is a very old, like, wizened-looking grandma of a kobold. Like, her scales are, like, they're almost, like, dulled to, like, almost grey at, like, the tips, like they're greying. And she doesn't, obviously, they're a kobold, they don't have hair. Her eyes are like very milky white and a bit cataract. And she's kind of, got yellowed claws and teeth and things like that. And she's like, hello?
Hello.
Do we have, what? Is this and
she like slaps the nearest one with like a kind of gnarled wooden cane, like,
you're not supposed to bring guests back here.
and they're like,
Mama, stop. He said he'd cook for us. Mama, he said he's going to cook for all of us. He just wants to use the kitchen. He's a good guest.
and he whispers, he's like,
this is the one who keeps spending all the money on the frog, on the toad.
and she's like,
Oh, yes. Oh, hello. I am Tarek, matriarch of the Tarek clan.
A pleasure to meet you. I am Rowan.
Hello. My vision's not so good. Are you wearing some sort of big cloak? You seem awfully large.
I'm a bit big, unfortunately.
Oh, all right.
Do you like fish?
Fish?
Yes.
Fish?
In a nice stew.
I like stew.
I'll make a wonderful stew for you.
All right. Won't say no to free food, won't we? No.
They will happily let you use the kitchen.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Is it like novelty size?
It's kobold size. So for Rowan, like, everything is, like, small. Like, yeah.
Knife.
Like, the saucepan is not big enough. Like, you're going to have to cook probably, like, four times. There's 16 of them, 4 of you, so 20 portions. It's about 4 in each one. You're looking at a lot, like 5. You're going to have to make this stew, like, 5 times.
Big pot.
Yeah. I will say that you also they don't have any fish here. You will have to go and buy.
Could while he's doing that, can I go out to the fish market?
If you really want to, yes.
This is happening. I know there's the whole Duke waiting.
Yeah,
sure. We got to make some stew.
Gotta start the day right.
You both are the ones who need to do things this morning.
Get clothes.
He's making a stew now. Rowan and you wake up, Daisy.
This is crack of dawn.
Yeah, crack of dawn. You wake up.
They're up before Daisy's asleep.
Yeah. By the time you wake up, they're gone, right? They're not there. Xanthias is asleep in the room. That's it.
Xanthias.
Yes?
Where did Graf and Rowan go? Did they go and get their clothes?
You just woke me up.
I didn't know if you might have woken up earlier.
This is the first time I've opened my eyes today.
Well, I didn't know that. You might have heard them go away.
You scared me.
I'm a really heavy sleeper.
Is that it? Okay, they're gone, are they?
Yeah.
Should we be
go?
worried?
No, I feel like we need to be on time today.
Oh, my heart. Okay.
Ophelia gave me a huge fright.
Really?
Last
She tried to
night.
bite you again?
No, she just appeared out of nowhere, right in front of my face.
She does that.
Yeah,
That's
I didn't
Ophelia.
like it. I screamed really loud, and because we were in the cathedral, it really echoed.
Is she still staying in the,
Yeah, she's actually no. She stayed with Percival last night, so she's not.
in the line? All night?
Well, yeah, because he was being bullied a little bit.
Percival?
Well, not bullied. People. He doesn't talk. You see. And
Well, no.
people were asking him questions, and he couldn't really keep his place in line.
Ophelia didn't hurt anyone, did she?
No.
Okay, good. Because if Percival was at threat, I'd be worried anyway.
No, he just kept walking away and then coming back.
Is the line safe? Is the line good? We got our place in the line?
Well, I don't know. I was asleep.
We should go check then. Check on Ophelia?
Probably.
Okay. Or find the others. What's happening? Again, you just woke me up. I'm, for lack of a better word, frazzled.
So my question is, what are Daisy and Xanthius doing? Are you going to go check on Ophelia? Are you going to go pick up their clothes? What is your plan?
I'm going to go and check by the Clever Toad machine just to make sure, because I feel like that's where we'd find Rowan.
I mean, how big is this, like, front open lobby? It's not big, right?
It's not that big.
And Rowan
No, but I
is.
haven't left the room yet.
Yeah, once you leave the room, you'll know if
yeah.
he's there or not.
Nope. Not there.
Can I listen? Can I hear any noise? Like, do I hear Rowan clattering about?
Probably humming to himself.
Yeah, but this is kind of like through a storage area. It's like kind of separated because obviously this is their family bit. They don't want it to be too close. I would say you probably wouldn't hear him unless he's like bellowing.
Would I have come
Like Saruman.
The sound of the mountain. Let's say
if I have, I don't think I'd be in the kitchen because it's too small.
Yeah.
There's a big giant in it and like 16 kobolds.
Yeah, what a perfect timing. Gruff comes back at the exact moment that Xanthius and Daisy are looking for Rowan. Gruff comes back. You've got
luck.
Spend 5 gold on fish.
That's a lot of fish.
He's making 20 portions of this stew.
You've been fishing, Gruff?
Oh no, I wouldn't catch something of such poor quality.
No.
This is like
when the day
fish
dawns,
guts.
you don't want core quality.
Yeah, poor quality.
What you like that?
I don't know.
I have dyslexia as well, so you are mocking at
Was
disability.
it better
sir.
when I wasn't here?
Did you take 5
It
pounds?
was.
I don't know how to split. Yeah.
No, you bought that. Why are we having fish?
Master Rowan has decided that on the day that we're meeting the Duke, and Ophelia and Percival are out there queuing somewhere, that the order of the day is to make a fish stew for all the kobolds.
Do you need a hand?
Wait, and us as well?
No.
You sure?
I presume so.
Do you need a hand?
How many kobolds are there?
Lots.
And when are we meeting the Duke?
I think in an hour.
In an hour?
You need to get dressed.
I couldn't stop him.
You need to get
That
dressed.
boy, when he gets his mind on something, he's doing that thing
So wait, where is he now? He's in the...
in the kitchen.
So Rowan, I would like you, because you are crafting a meal. So this is going to use, do you have proficiency in cook's utensils?
No, of course.
Hell no.
All right. This is just a straight up intelligence roll then.
So I've learned this specific meal
That's true.
from Bliss.
Yeah, let's see if you can do it.
Bliss stew.
You've been told, like, these are the ingredients and,
I've got it written
do this
down on
stuff.
my arm.
Yeah, sure. But we need to see if you can actually deliver
Washed
it.
away.
So this is, D20
Can I have
plus
a fate
intelligence. You can spend a fate dice.
Thank you very much.
Did you wake up and choose violence today?
No, I'm choosing a healthy meal for our...
No, I mean Chris Trott, the human being.
Ooh. 21 plus, what was the skill?
Intelligence.
Oh. Which is probably a 0, yeah.
So 21.
Oh, -1. 20.
20. Which is great. It's I would probably say for this fish is probably like DC 12, right? You cook a delightful fish stew, a hearty fish stew. It does take you a while because you have so many portions to make.
Sweating.
But you also make enough for everybody but Ophelia because Ophelia's not here.
Oh, takeaway. Can I take a bowl with me?
It will be cold by the time you get there.
Also, fire hand.
Yeah, I'll just produce flame.
Ophelia's
Sure.
got to have one.
Sure, Ophelia can have a portion of fish stew as well.
It's just how he looked at you.
Yeah.
He's got a big hand.
He can cover it. He can cover
You can
it.
cover it. I'm going to say
Hands like a microwave.
that for this fish stew, everybody who consumes it will gain 3 temporary hit points. Last until either you take a long rest or you have a higher source. Higher source of temporary hit points, right? They don't stack. But it is, I want to make it so that when you do stuff like cook a meal, there is a benefit to it, right?
Disrupt the game.
Sure. In this instance, though, what I'm going to say is most of the ingredients were supplied by the Tarek family. So the cost in the future would probably be a bit more because you'd have to buy the other ingredients.
Shall I spend some gold as like the cost of
Ingredients.
No, I think in this case, like they were happy to provide it because you were cooking for them as well.
Okay.
Sure. I've just said that 5 gold for the fish, but I think in future it'll probably be more than that if you were, say, cooking for the party, out in the wilds, or like if you didn't have access to this. This is going to be a one and done. The Tareks aren't going to probably let you use their kitchen every time and pay for the ingredients, but this is like a special occasion where they're done. And you also learn a little bit more about the Tarek clan whilst you're cooking it. You would find out that they once were household servants of a black dragon noble, a young noble, but they decided to leave that business. Like sometimes kobolds decide to go on their own, and Tarek was the younger daughter at the time, and she went off and she wanted to start up a business and she wanted to start a tavern, and so she left and had her own family, and that is now the Tarek clan that run the Clever Toad. But they come from kobolds. Generally, their families are the servants to dragons, so they are normally like if you imagine like a Downton Abbey, you have the upstairs and the downstairs. Like the kobolds are the ones who are like the cooks and the maids and stuff like that. But it's kind of seen as like a job, right? Like you can leave it, you're not enforced to do it, but they're paid, and it's kind of seen as a bit of an honor to be a draconic kind of.
How long do kobolds live for?
Kobolds, not that long.
Okay. I was trying to figure out, like, if it was...
to get through them.
And that's why their families are so large. First of all, kobolds produce, like, a lot of kids. They're like rabbits, they have a lot of offspring. But they only live to about 40, like,
okay.
kobolds.
Okay. So the younger Tarek, when the business started, was about 30 years ago.
Yeah. The Clever Toad's been around
Not like
for a while.
200.
No.
Okay, cool.
And Rowan has spent more on the Clever Toad than any other person in the entirety of the owning this
someone's definitely
establishment.
spent more. Someone spent
When
more.
it first
Is there a
kicked
leaderboard?
off, there was like
There is not a leaderboard, no.
There is now.
There is now. Well, they didn't say that he'd spend the most. They just said he's been spending a lot.
Okay.
No, I like to believe that
He spent the most.
spent the most.
Sure.
Or he spent the equivalent of the years of other people spending it. Like,
Yeah.
they've made more in
It's
like 2
compressed down.
days than
This
they
has
have
been
in a year.
a real great week for the
been a good week
Tarek
for-
family.
Yeah. Considering it's only
And
a
now
bronze
he's making
coin.
them.
Yeah.
Now he's making them fish too.
Yeah. But yeah, you earn the sort of admiration, like the Tarek family. Mama Tarek is very happy with the stew. She's like, "Ooh, I don't normally like fish," and like takes a whole fish head. She shoves the whole.
I think Chris Trott did choose violence today.
He's in a mood. He's in a mood
He's
today.
in a mood.
Sniffing chili or
It's the
something.
5 millimeters.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
really.
the 5 millimeter, yeah.
Yeah.
That's on me, sorry.
Yeah, Mama Tarek shoves a whole fish head in her mouth and just eats the whole thing, bones,
Oh, I
eyes.
wasn't supposed to put that.
Delicious. My
Okay.
favourite part.
Fantastic.
Her favourite bit was the fish head.
I'm glad.
And so now that she has tasted it, she asks you for the recipe to share it. And she's
Here
gonna,
it's on my arm.
and she gets one of the others, Ixie Tarek, and reads it out to her and like copies it down. And she's gonna put it up on. She's gonna make it as Rowan's fish head stew.
Please.
Yeah, Rowan's fish head
call
stew.
it bliss stew.
Why?
It's not my bliss.
Blish stew is it?
Dude,
Oh, blish stew.
Stay right there. Oh,
Blish fish
I
head
made
stew.
a core quality
Blish
bliss
fish head
stew at the
stew.
day of dawn. Everyone's getting around it. Don't worry, I'll have one too eventually.
Oh, Tom, I'm gonna slap you.
I know.
So,
Yeah.
Rowan stew.
by the time Rowan has finished with this stew business, you have to go to the Duke's audience.
Yeah.
You have not picked up the outfits that you had made at Mystique.
Can we not double up? Because we
No.
have to eat it.
No.
I didn't choose to be a part
You
of
went
this.
to buy fish and you came back.
I could have left
You delivered the
after.
fish. Yeah, you did. And you went straight to the Duke's audience. No, all right. I will allow you to go and pick up the clothes, but Rowan won't
yeah,
have
we
to
were-
change in the street.
That's fine.
We were going to go to the line anyway, right?
Yeah.
I Although I have added 3 temporary HP, so I think I've already eaten the stew.
I've eaten the stew.
Damn it. Blish
took
stew
the
for Xanth.
stew.
I don't have to get
I
changed.
just want
Also, I'm carrying Ophelia's one. Ignis!
Ignis! Just every now and then, like every 30 seconds,
just to
stops.
Keep it going.
Ignis!
We get Tim down back.
But
We
for
need him
Christmas.
to
Yeah.
Bowl of charcoal.
Accidentally launch it to a nearby house.
I want to keep the consequences. You don't have time to pick up your clothes. You've eaten the goddamn stew. No, you ate the stew. You made the stew.
I didn't
you
realise-
live with the stew.
I didn't realise we only had an hour before.
Yeah.
I thought it
You
was
had to
in the
make
afternoon.
20 portions of that
I thought it
stew.
was in the afternoon.
Thanks.
No, it's in morning. Why do you think you've been queuing up?
That's why I've been out
No,
here all night.
yeah.
Only these two had responsibilities, technically. I feel like Gruff would have been up at super duper duper early though. Because
Actually, the
Gruff
whole
does
family
get up super duper duper
have
early.
responsibilities.
And also Gruff would have been really excited about nightly clothes.
I will
just
allow.
saying.
I will allow Gruff to go and pick up the clothes.
With the fish,
But you have
though,
to
so
spend
the
a
clothes
fate
smell
dice.
like
Yeah, the
fish.
clothes smell like fish.
Make a dexterity check to see if you spill stew on your new clothes.
Oh!
Just a straight up dex.
It's dex saving throw.
11.
It's fine. It's DC 10. You eat stew without spilling it all over yourself. As a point, I don't approve of the roll to see if you trip on the door. Like, I hate that shit. Roll to breathe. Oh, roll the 1, I'm dead.
I'm still breathing.
I hate
Make an intelligence check to remember to breathe.
To be fair, we've all had those days.
Oh yeah, I've
Haven't
done
you
it.
never just had that day where you just sit there and go, how do
sorry,
I breathe?
He never rolled to breathe in again.
5 minutes later, there it is. I remember. Oh, I almost
Poorly
died.
remembered.
That was close. I'd like to head over to the line, please, to meet Ophelia with everybody.
Let's bring this all back in. A little bit of chaos.
Does
let
Gruff
the-
look fantastic though?
Yeah, I mean, Gruff and Rowan both you have time to get changed on the way. Rowan's pulling his tunic on and things as he goes. But yeah, they do look a lot more respectable. Out of all of you now, it's actually Ophelia who's some of her clothes are still because you slept in the street, right?
Yeah.
You've not had a chance to clean them. Your hair's a little bit mucky, that kind of stuff.
Now you've got to eat fish stew on the street, so you probably smell of fish.
Yeah. Does Ophelia eat it or not? It's up to you. You can have 3 temporary hit points and eat it, or you can not have those temporary hit points.
I feel you do it polite. I'll save this for later.
Just give it to Percival.
Yeah.
Percival, puts it in his robe because he's a skeleton. It just drips.
When you see him move away, you just see a puddle of stew.
The bowl's still in
leaking
there.
out from
The
under his
bowl's in
robe.
his rib cage, but it just as he moves, it gets jostled out.
This is how Rhiannon. It's like when someone doesn't want their vegetables at the table and they just try and pass it off
To an animal.
There's a pile of white broccoli on the floor.
What's in there?
There's a rib cage with a wooden bowl and just a trail of fish stew.
It's like sweet wrappers.
Yeah.
Everyone in the queue is going to have to stand over that as well.
Sucks to be them.
Yep. So, you hear the procession of trumpets as some of the Duke's personal guard kind of announce, thank you all for coming. We will begin moving the queue inside the Ducal Palace. You will take those positions. We will allow the public in as the audience, and then His Majesty, His Draconic Majesty, the Duke will arrive to take your questions and speak with you. You see Considerate Edath Orgrim, the dwarf that you had met earlier, comes and begins reading out the kind of formal procession of how things are going to go, reminding you of some of the kind of courtesies and rules. You are to refer to Duke Ignarius as His Draconic Majesty, Duke Ignarius. You are not to speak until he speaks to you.
Okay.
Laying out some of these more formal kind of questions and the process of it. You are to be silent until you are called up to speak. If you basically break these rules, you run the risk of being thrown out.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
You make your way, the guards leading the way from the kind of street that leads to the Ducal Palace, to the Dominus Ignorum, and you see the great portcullis is lifted, and the guards escort you and the other speakers up into the most majestic grand building. It is, in terms of size, it is enormous.
Right.
As you step in, imagine the tallest ceiling. We are talking sort of 100, 80 feet tall ceiling, the great glass dome with its kind of brass and gold fittings. You can see that to the side, a number of kobolds are turning great wheels, and the dome is being opened up, allowing in the morning sun. Luckily, it is a sunny, bright day, and so there is no rain or anything coming in. And you are led into a grand audience chamber. You can see that there looks to be, there are great pillars depicting draconic figures. There is an immense painting that depicts a red, crimson scaled dragon battling a very abstract looking shape. It has the shape of a dragon, and it's streaked with black and gold and red, and it has this almost demonic kind of twist to its form, but you can still see it's a dragon. And they fight in a valley pass, and it's been scorched and burnt with the black mountains, the obsidian mountains in the background, and you can tell that this is Duke Ignarius, and he's covered in wounds and scars, but he's grappling this abyssal looking beast, and he's holding it back, and the two of them are locked in combat. You can see this immense tapestry. You can see other pieces of art and decoration all scattered around the chamber. And at the very far back, on a platform that has a sort of wheeled base, like stone wheels that looks like it can be pulled forward. It's currently pushed right at the back, leaving this immense open space in the middle. But there is a kind of stone platform with 3 ornate thrones on it. And that's all set into the back currently. You take position. You are led inside. The Lamplighters Guild's members are in front of you, and the ones who are holding the spot eventually give way just before you go up into the Ducal Palace to a human-looking man and a couple of mercenary-looking bodyguards. They kind of wear a scale mail and studded leather. He's a little bit older. He's kind of got a Friar Tuck haircut, balding on top with a little bit wrapped around the sides. He wears a tiny pair of Prince Nez little glasses balanced on his nose, very ornate looking, kind of rich looking uniform, but not ostentatious. Very rich fabrics, very well made, but nothing gaudy or showy. He has a little belt, and he has a little pin of the Lamplighters sigil as well, and he kind of patiently waits there. He would probably regard you as you're making your way up. He'd just say, "Good morning," and kind of make polite conversation with you if you want to. Otherwise, he's happy to just go back to his business. He has a whispered conversation with some of the people around him. Behind you are some members of the Stonemasons Guild. Does not seem to be anybody of too great an import there. They are dressed in the same sort of nice clothes, nothing too ostentatious. But one of them is the religious person that you spoke to at the Coil of the Empress, the one who took you up to see the Oracle, dressed in these robes with the symbol of the Imperial Flame, and they sort of greet you again quite formally. And then you can see behind you there is a row of other speakers, and you can see further down the line an orc woman who's wearing a blacksmith's apron and looks very upset and angry as well. And you can see that there are a few other members, people waiting in the queue. You are pulled up into Dominus Ignarum, and you can see that kind of roped pillars have been set aside so that you stand in a line inside the building. And then on either side of this great chamber, there is actually seating that is brought in. And once the queue is set up, the public begin to filter in and take seats. And they are told by Considerate Edath that they are to remain silent. They may react, they may gasp and clap and cheer and things like that, but they are not to ask questions, they are not to speak. They are here to witness the audience, not to be a part of it. And so they begin to take seats. And you can see that there are various mixtures of people. Some of them look like wealthy merchants, wealthy trade people, artisans. You probably would notice the tailor miss that you mentioned, that you saw. You would probably see the priest and priestess of the House of the Rose, the two rabbit wild hearts. You see kind of some of the figures that you've seen around the town. You would also see not in the queue, but stood next to Considerate Edath, you would recognize one figure. You don't recognize the other. You see Authorita Zaron Tekis, the orc that came with you from the village of Burnell. Next to him is a halfling lady, an older-looking halfling. Where have I got my details on these guys?
Oh, Sister Inquisitor.
No, this she carries the same symbol as Zaron Tekis, so the symbol of an authorita, but hers is gilded in gold, indicating a senior level. She holds herself, she's older, she has like a little walking cane, but it's one of those kind of like silver-topped, solid black-looking canes.
Definitely a sword in it.
I mean, yeah, like if you want to make that assumption, it looks like the kind of cane that would carry a weapon in it, right? Like there is almost like a section that was almost like a little handle, and then it has like a brass fitting that she could almost maybe pull something out of, but you don't know. She wears a very neat black vest, and she has a sort of black can't remember the name of it. A little sort of black hat, like a
tricorn.
Not a tricorn, but similar. That kind of
fancy
pilgrim hat, like the kind of like the like a witchfinder's hat, basically.
Yeah.
She wears one of those, and she's older. She's maybe in like her 60s, and she is kind of got wrinkles and like little white fluffy hair. She looks a little bit like a kind of like Miss Marple kind of character, but dressed like an inquisitor from Warhammer.
Right.
And she's got like there, and she's like talking with the Considerate, and Tekis, Zaron Tekis, is totally silent. Like he's like stood next to her and is taking a sort of secondary position.
Sorry, what's the Considerate's name again?
Edath Orgrim.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, he is the Considerate for Duke Ignarius.
Cool.
You see some other figures. You see some of the Duke's personal guard are speaking with a human man dressed in the Duke's army colours, and they offer a crisp salute to him, signifying that he has some sort of authority or seniority. He's dressed in very worn-looking armour. He's not as fancy as the Duke's personal guard, but you can see that this is a man who wears the years of experience. His armour has like chips. It's well cared for. Not chips, sorry, but like it shows use. Yeah, dents or like has been worn. His boots are like wrapped in a way that like they're not going to come loose. Like his gauntlets have been adjusted so that they give him a full range of movement. You know, this is not somebody who's wearing armor for the first time. This is somebody who has seen action. He's human. He has like grey hair, very revolver ocelot with a little kind of grey mustache, long grey hair tied back, and he seems to be speaking with some of the personal guard. But yeah, and you kind of fall into this kind of waiting. There's the murmur of the audience as people are kind of graciously waiting, but there is no sign of his Draconic Majesty yet. The sun beams in from the open glass roof, giving you guys a brief moment. Is there anything you guys want to say to each other or to the people around you, or anything you want to discuss? Like, you maybe have a couple minutes here before things get started.
Ophelia's just gonna be fixing her hair, just to try and like get everything in place.
Yeah, Percival's still like, you know, brushing things out or like, you know, trying his best to kind of clean you and tidy you up.
Wasn't meant to be like this. I was meant to be more ready. It's fine.
Well, thank you for keeping the line, though.
Oh, it's okay, no problem. I had a wonderful night.
Yes?
Yes, I did, yes.
You didn't sleep on the stone, did you?
I had a visitor.
Okay, went into the line?
No, the Grey Father visited me.
Right! Okay, the Grey Father.
Yes. Unsullied by mortal flesh. He was resplendent.
I had enough of this yesterday. I'm just gonna...
Sorry.
Sketch.
It was very exciting.
It feels like you had a very spiritual, religious experience, so I'm happy for you.
Oh, thank you. I have been blessed. My path has never been clearer.
You look very happy today.
I am
Beaming,
happy.
in fact.
I am. I would dance if I was not permitted to sit down.
Right.
I'll have to dance later.
Well, that's good.
Thank
Good
you
that you're happy.
Thank you for the fish stew.
Oh, did you enjoy it?
The sentiment was there, thank you.
Right.
I appreciate the care and thought
So
that was
more
put
like-
into it.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Now,
So has everyone got the rules down?
well, the rules, sure. What are we going to say? What things do we raise to the Duke?
Well, let's see. I think it's actually beneficial that we're second in line now, rather than first, because we get to see. Yeah, we can see how the lamplighters ahead of us act in front of the Duke.
Now, who wishes to speak for us?
Who's got the writ?
We're all going to speak.
I'm a mess. I'm terribly
Gruff has the
sorry,
writ.
loves.
You look resplendent as well, Ophelia.
Can you pass that down to Kim?
As always.
As Kim is as Gruff is the bearer of the Duke's favour.
The clever toad.
Bearer of the curse.
New clothes look very nice. Both of you, Rowan and Gruff, you look
Thank
very...
you. Is it on back to front? It feels back to front.
No, it looks fine. Let's see, the buttons are on the right way round.
Oh, they
That's
are
good.
on the front.
Yes.
I don't really know what this bit of rope does here. I feel like a curtain.
It makes you look refined.
That curtain.
Tassely bit here.
Yeah, no, it looks good though.
Okay, it's quite distracting.
Don't get distracted by it.
He's just
Don't play
pawing
with
at
it. Don't play with it.
Don't play with it.
It's dangling.
Okay, but
You're a lord.
no, but
People have called you lord.
I know, and I keep correcting them.
They're convinced you're a lord, so maybe you should speak for us.
Well,
Ophelia.
I'm not in this state. Not in this state. I stepped on the ground, Rowan. I'm sorry.
Okay. Lord Xanthias.
but we are the people who saved Burnell, right?
Aye.
That's maybe all we need to say. It depends how deep we want to go.
Well, Zarantekis is just over there. They can validate our claims as they gave us the writ.
Yes. And also, I mean, there are people we've helped in Ashen's Rest as well. Like we can see some of the people in the bathhouse.
The bathhouse, yeah.
Do we want to press the issue of the demon?
I think maybe that's for a future.
We are speaking quietly, right? Like the lamplighters are right in front of us.
What has been said has been said. I'm assuming you are polite, because this is like, you can't speak loudly because this is a very quiet environment. So I'm assuming you're kind of doing that friend, whispering.
It's a big chamber as well, right? Like,
But it doesn't mean that people can't hear you. You guys hear people whispering sometimes.
Not today. I think we need more evidence.
Yes? Okay. So for now, we are just handing in our favour.
Nice boyos.
Nice boyos, willing to help and assist in any way we can for the prosperity of Ashen's Rest.
Is Sir Griold here?
Does not appear to be yet.
Are there any other knights?
Nope, none of the knights of the realm. There are the Duke's personal guard, but no knights of the realm here.
Bored already.
All right.
We should get you a calendar of knights.
Calendar.
sexy knight.
Sexy night calendar.
That is probably, quite honestly, that is, especially here in Cauldron,
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing I can see Cauldron's making. Like, there probably would be, but it would be like those romantic, like, pin-up, like, portraits, like, painted style ones. Like, nothing, it'd be very
ankle.
tasteful.
Yes.
Yeah. Or, like, Sir Griold is, like, covered by, like, his crossbow across the chest. And then, like, a flag is, like, wrapped around his lower half and, that kind of thing.
My.
Oh, boy.
I have to do that if I was a knight. Because no one needs to see this, if I'm honest.
Well, we don't have to.
You don't imagine it's not really an ice heart type of thing. It's very much a Cauldron kind
We
of
keep
thing.
our clothes on. It's
Yeah.
quite cold.
Yeah, Cauldron's they're a passionate people. It's a land of passion and pride, and being proud of your body, regardless of what it is
They're a
big
dad bod
part.
knights.
Huh?
They're a dad bod knight.
Oh, so Grield is one of them. Like he's absolutely like a dad bod type, and like Cauldrons think that you should be proud no matter like what shape or size you are. They're very much very body positive.
Okay, so that's all we're doing. Trying to find out what our potential, I suppose, reward might be, and handing in our favour.
And you know what? I put a hand on Xanthias.
Okay, out.
I've got this.
I don't want this.
Congratulations.
What, I'm doing the
Lord
talking?
Xanthias.
Surely this is a
Speaker
gruff thing.
Of
What did I do?
the Pillars.
The who?
The Pillars. Working title.
What?
The
Oh, is that us?
Yes.
We're the pillars. I mean,
The Pillars of Fortune.
of
The Pillars of Destiny.
um,
I'm not good with lyrics.
Pillars of death.
we'll workshop it.
With the pillars of death and the will workshop it, you kind of feel in the air before anybody says anything, because it goes so much quieter, and you see the guards and all of the people of any kind of authority and position move to the sides. There's this kind of ripple of movement as everyone goes quiet, and then a number of trumpets, these long, elongated brass trumpets hanging with the bannerets of the Duke, with bearing the Duke's crest. Blare.
Shut the fuck up.
And there is silence. And then you hear...
He's making an entrance.
as a shadow falls across the entire chamber from above. And you watch as everyone is looking up to the glass dome that has been opened up. And a shape, huge, massive in size, fills that dome as it begins to descend down. And the shadow grows and grows and grows. And swooping in, so graceful for something so big and powerful, landing with a crash, but without damaging the floor or anything in the chamber, is a red dragon. The Duke Ignarius, in their draconic form, is incredibly muscular, even for a dragon. You can see the very definition of each muscle tendon through its powerful arms, his tail, his rear legs, his chest and neck. You see that this is a heavily scarred dragon, the scars having healed in a sort of almost dark orange amber-like color as opposed to the red and pinks of the flesh and scales. Black, jagged spines and spikes protrude from the back and along the tail, and even around parts of the neck. And you can see that one of the Duke's enormous red horns is jagged and rock-like, and one of them is broken off, so it kind of is half shattered. And they have this kind of, rocky, jagged-like texture. These are not smooth, curved horns. You can even see that the frilled crest along his head and back and the very membranes of his wings also have tears and scars and have almost been sort of knitted back together and healed over, bearing these long, scar-like lines along them. The dragon itself wears ornate jewelry, huge in size to go around it's like an ornate gorget of gold around its neck, big, huge armlets around its massive clawed hands, and even jewelry around the tail as well, linked by these enormous chains, dazzling with jewels and gemstones, silver and gold and platinum. As the dragon lands, two more fill the sky and fall in beside this dragon. Much smaller. Okay. much smaller. They are, if the Duke Ignarius is this huge, nearly gargantuan-sized creature, the two that land next to him are sort of large to huge kind of creatures. They are still massive in size, but very clearly younger dragons, as you can see. One of them her scales are almost a bright ruby red as opposed to that dark bloody red of the Duke himself. Hers are brighter, more lustrous, more sort of saturated almost. She has a pink fleshy underbelly with very few spikes or spines that you can see, and very much like the Duke, she adorns herself with fine jewelry and actually pieces of silk, kind of in these long swooping kind of like trailing ribbons that fall along her body. The other, on the other side of the dragon, is a young male. This dragon, though, his scales are a mixture of red and black. The scales are a dark crimson, but he has these black, jagged spikes and spines, and even his horns become black at the tips, his tail and his wings having the same kind of effect. You can see he's very sleek and regal looking. In a draconic voice, Duke Ignarius speaks. This booming, echoing voice fills the entire chamber, and almost, for a moment, you guys almost feel yourself compelled to go to one knee or to buckle in some way. But this voice is deep and rich and just fills you as it speaks. Welcome all
Citizens of the Empire, to my home. I bid you come forth and speak of your troubles and needs, so that I may consider them and act as ancient decree demands to protect and aid you. You even begin to see a little bit of smoke and flame lick inside of his jaws as he speaks. When he finishes, and there is still this stunned silence, you see His Draconic Majesty the Duke. Magic begins to coalesce over his body, and it's almost like he begins to shrink down. His form briefly glows, completely enshrouded in light, as he becomes humanoid in size and shape, but very tall. 9 feet to 10 feet tall, a powerful, dark-skinned man. The scars are all still present on the bare arms, the neck, even across the face. You see scars very much like the Draconic form as he was. The man is dressed in fine and decorative armor with military attire underneath and long braided, dark black hair. Still wearing much of the jewelry and things that was represented in the Draconic form. The eyes, however, are still utterly draconic, and a great pair of horns sprout from his head, a long tail. You can see patches of draconic red scales from here to there, almost like looking upon a dragonborn, but sized up, scaled up to be taller, bolder.
Dragon face as well.
No,
Or
humanoid face.
human
Humanoid face. Okay. There is almost a slight beard to him, like a thick stubble, but has these gigantic horns, like red horns that sprout from his head. The dark hair kind of done in a way so that you can't see the seam of the horns, but they kind of fall, and you can see there is like a large kind of like piece of jewelry that kind of connects them as well. But yeah, almost like taking elements of that humanoid dragonborn, but adding even more. Huge horns, the draconic eyes, the size and scale of him is just titanic in a sense.
How's that feel?
Man, I'm a little jelly. I should have made that guy.
The other 2 dragons do the same, and you see magic envelop them as they shrink down to a humanoid form. Still tall, but perhaps a little shorter than the Draconic Duke. The girl that you can see, her humanoid appearance is, she has, her complexion is not as dark as the Duke's. The Duke is like a dark complexion, whereas hers is a lot more tanned, kind of like, a deeper kind of brown rather than black. She has dark hair with red streaks, and those silks and the jewelry that she wore now becomes her clothing and her outfit. It's very airy, it's very evocative, but almost, something that you might wear in a hot climate. And it just kind of falls over her, revealing the beautiful dark ruby red scales along her arms. Her claws, you can see, rather than painted nails, they are draconic claws that are red in color, but they almost look like painted nails that she has. Her tail kind of slinks out from underneath these ruffles and layers of silk and fabric. The other younger dragon, he has a darker complexion, but not as quite as dark as the Duke's. He has intense, almost straight black long hair with that tan complexion, and he's dressed almost in like a scholarly robe of black with red trim around the sides. Very austere compared to the gaudiness of the girl and the Duke. There is almost no jewelry, there is no sort of ostentatiousness. He looks more like a wizard, in a sense, that kind of high-necked, long robe, and he clutches a staff as well that he conjures with magic as he stands there. It appears.
They're all hot.
They are.
They are all hot. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Max, they are high charisma. They're sexy. All 3 of them are sexy.
That you're just like, oh, God.
Yeah. This is like these are like celebrities, right? These are like, seeing Hollywood celebrities that have magic. They don't need surgery. They can just magic themselves to look how they want.
Does anyone in the audience like start clapping and screaming when they see them?
I think that once they take the humanoid form and everybody kind of gets over that initial like awe and shock of the dragons, there is cheering and clapping and like everyone is very excited and happy to see the Duke. Like this is a big deal to be in their presence for most people here. Okay. So there is definitely
they are revering them. It's not like they're Throwing tomatoes at me.
Yeah, for sure. For our two resident cauldrons, so Daisy and Xanthias, you would recognize the other two. You've heard of them. You know who they are.
Okay.
The female dragon, the woman, her name is Emberissa, and she is the Duke's daughter. Emberissa Ignarum. And then the male dragon, the younger male dragon, is Obsidius Ignarum. And you would know that Obsidius is, he is the son of Duke Ignarius and a black dragon duchess, which is why he has the black and red. A little bit scandalous, but not too much. Like, it is allowed, but like, it's like, ooh, especially since they are probably not, the girl is not from, she's probably got a red dragon mother. Like, they are from two different mothers, basically. But they are the Duke's children, and they are often involved in a lot of the business in the North Vale. You would probably both know that Obsidius spends a lot of time in Calscaris. He studies at the Imperial Academia, and so he is not often in the region. Whereas Emberissa is more commonly here in Cauldra, spends a lot of time in Pharos, the capital of Cauldra, and things like that.
Would this be a rare sight for this public hearing?
It would be rare to have all three of them here, but they normally at least one of or the other one will be here when they are there. Right. It's kind of like
at least one.
Yeah. Like if they're in town, right? Like they'll come along to it. Like it's kind of
another public hearing, Dad.
Yeah, there's kind of a little bit of probably an element of that, basically. But it's also a chance for them to show themselves because one day they will probably be a duke or a duchess as well. And you see that stone platform, the wheeled stone platform, is brought forward by a number of guards and is moved into the center of the chamber where now in their kind of humanoid forms they take these seats and sort of beckon forth to begin the public audience. How's everyone, what's everyone reacting? How's everyone feeling? Is there anything you guys, before I just talk more, because it's gonna be a lot of me talking?
No, I'm fine with that.
How's Gruff feeling? This is kind of like Gruff, this is your before a dragon. Has he been in front of a dragon before?
I mean, I've said that he was very reverential of the dragon who rules his province, who is Nacriosa. Thank you for that dyslexic hellhole spelling. So yeah, I he was very reverential of her, especially because she has powers of an oracle, so he believed her powers of an oracle. So I think he would be, but I don't think he would have ever seen her. So I think
this is the first time being in the presence of
yeah. So he would probably have that same reverence. Like he's been brought up like the dragons rule. They, they're the reason we have peace and stuff like that. So
I should make it a point as well that there is an unconscious magic with dragons, which is their draconic presence. So if you guys don't want to be awed by them, it is a saving throw. Basically, if you want to be like, no, I don't give a shit about these people, I don't care about dragons, there is basically you're saving against their fear or charm aura that dragons have. But you have to, you just, if you feel that your character would not be by these people.
I think Gruff is definitely awed, and he almost regrets being so grumpy about looking good.
Nice, yeah.
And
he's kind of glad now that he looks nice.
But he still doesn't feel like he looks nice enough.
Now you see the presence you're about to... Yeah, I think there's definitely a majesty to the entire thing, but I mean, there's also almost seeing a creature this big and this powerful, there's a fear creeping in as well, almost an ice cold sort of feeling.
Xanthias was never in the presence.
No, he wouldn't have been. No.
So this is your first time as well.
First time, seeing a creature like this. Yeah. So I think it would almost make sense for there to be almost just it is a terrifying presence as well as a...
Yeah, and this is the thing is there is a reason that the dragons operate this feudal system where they are on top and they are the nobles. They're fairly, most dragons are actually pretty fair in their rule. There are some dragons who are quite tyrannical though. There's a reason that they haven't been overthrown in terms of the empire, and that is because they are fucking dragons. As a point, Duke Ignarius is a CR 16 red dragon. He is a big deal, and my dragons have they're basically also archmages. They're powerful wizards as well as being a dragon. I've got
context,
special.
What's our average CR right now?
Well, you guys are level 3? So your CR is you would be expected to up against a CR 3 or 4 monster as like a group. Like they pretty high. This is pretty high up.
Roll initiative, I could take him.
There's also like there's also like the tapestries and the windows of all of their impressive feats. And
you guys know that Duke Ignarius is a literal war hero. Like those scars that you can see on Duke Ignarius's body, he got fighting off the corrupted dragons of the Oriat insurrection, like protecting his lands. Like he was like a hero who held a front by himself for a while. Like he's like a heroic figure. Like I said, my dragons will have like special legendary actions. They're not the base ones in the monster manual, like because base monster manual dragons, by the way, are a bit rubbish. My dragons are like way more powerful. They're like much more powerful creatures. So this is like there's a reason that like they are on top, and it's because they are magically vastly stronger.
Why have you scaled them ready for a fight?
I haven't. I just know what they are.
Just said that he has legendary special.
I've got all my dragon stats.
They're gonna fight a long.
You think I'm gonna do a campaign where dragons are the rulers, where I'm not gonna have them all like worked out and statted up? Like,
I feel like we're gonna get incinerated in the next 5 minutes.
No. Well, it depends how you act. If you insult the Duke, maybe you will be. But yeah, so
like poop.
Yeah,
burned.
Boy.
The two younger children, obviously still very powerful as well. Not as powerful, but they are obviously still going to be able to use magic. They're powerful. They're physically stronger. They're physically tougher. They physically have like, enhanced grace and they're alluring. They're intelligent. They're wise. Like they are superior in most ways, right?
What don't they have?
Really, they don't. There's nothing they don't have. They're dragons. They are literally incredible magical beings of power.
Can get in the way sometimes.
Yeah.
Get trapped indoors a little bit.
Yeah, they can't get in small places. Well, actually, no, they could, because they can shape change into like a halfling, and they'd be like, I'm a halfling now. As a point as well, in their humanoid forms, they retain all of their like stats, so they are as strong in a humanoid form as they are in a dragon form. They lose certain things like their breath weapon
to
and
show
stuff
their
like that.
horns and tails. Then
Yeah. They could totally look like a normal human if they wanted
Can
to.
we all become dragon?
No.
Is the Duke? Is he still keeping his one broken horn?
Yes, he does. Yeah, so he has one broken horn and one thing. Same with all of his scars. Like he is making the choice to keep those in his humanoid form.
Well, they're medals.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they absolutely.
What I've done for you.
Really? Yeah.
Rowan is like a child at Disneyland that's in like the most immersive experience ever. So he's going through
He's meeting the princesses. Yeah.
Whoa, dragon! Whoa! It's scary for a bit, and then they turn to humanoid form. He's like, oh, they're beautiful.
Yeah. So I can't wait to meet you, Princess Jasmine.
Like, when he hears everyone else making lots of noise, he's like, yeah! Really excited.
And he's Rowan probably is out of the dragons themselves. Rowan is clearly like heads and shoulders above everyone else here. So you know that the Duke and the two children have seen him going like, yeah! Like they can't help but see him do that.
I look behind and there's clearly like a couple of people behind Rowan like trying to lean over. Like,
he is blocking their view. Absolutely.
I'm that guy.
Once in a lifetime moment. Or once a month, I guess.
Yeah. How does Altheya feel?
Altheia's like looking around, like if people are clapping, she's like politely just very good, very good.
Following in with the custom, basically. Yeah.
Then also she's kind of like slinking like behind Percival because she's very aware that she's not the neatest right now. She's like she feels a little bit bedraggled compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, the people in the queue, they're not all just like guilds and nobles and things.
There is no other nobles. Like they're all like there's a mixture of people. Like you probably would see like there probably isn't like farmers and commoners, or if they are at the back.
But I just mean like Altheya doesn't look so obviously.
No. And like you still dress nice in the first place. You're just like there's a bit of like dust.
Very conscious about it.
Yeah,
like it's like when when you've got like
there's one hair loose.
Yeah, you can just feel it, and you're like really annoying.
Yeah.
But like he's very. I guess this is the first time she's seen a dragon, so she's very like in awe.
And I think that for Altheya, like you've been in the presence of creatures that have as much power.
Yeah.
And they are in some cases, they can be just as majestic. Like when you met the Baroness, the Countess for the first time, the Countess has that same, like, it was such a ceremony when she came down the stairs of her palace in Osseous and things like that. And there was just something magical about her presence, that she seemed larger than life, that she seemed more powerful. But you've also been at functions where heads of the House of Bones or, the House of Runes have been. And the nobles of the House of Bones, the liches are just as majestic and powerful, and like they evoke that same sensation. Right. So this is definitely you're like, oh, okay, maybe you can see a little bit why these citizens are like, oh yeah, like
She gets the hype.
Yeah, exactly. And then for Daisy again, I imagine would never have been in this kind of situation, right?
She wouldn't have, but she would be like just kind of staring in awe.
Yeah,
she wouldn't. Probably more frozen than Rowan's like, woo! She'd just be like, whoa.
Yeah, nice. We kind of see that. You guys enjoying this moment. The Duke gestures, and he's like, please come, first to speak. And the Lamplighters Guild steps forward, and the Duke smiles. Like when he sees this figure approach, this human man with the little glasses and things, he actually kind of smiles and he goes like, Tobias, how are you, my boy? Even though this human is like easily in his like 50s or 60s, the dragon treats him like a child. And he's like, how are your mother and father? And Tobias is like, they are well, your Draconic Majesty, and they extend their love and their kind, their thanks to you, it has been. They have enjoyed the retirement of life now that they are no longer, with the guild, and they are enjoying their life in the country. And he's like, I'm pleased to hear that, young man.
God damn it, he's lovely.
Yeah. But you also can easily, like, you don't need inside checks to pick up on this. There is history here, right? Like the dragon knows this man and knows that his parents, probably knows his grandparents and their parents and stuff like that. And he says, well, what can I do for the guild? Surely a guild as prosperous as the Lamplighters needs little from me. And he kind of chuckles a little bit. And Tobias kind of bows his head. He says, I have come before you, my Draconic Majesty, my Duke, to ask for your permission. We would like to begin work enhancing the great lights that sit on the town's walls. We have been developing new techniques, and we feel that we can improve their functionality and perhaps even give them a more military purpose. Should Ashen Rest fall under attack, we believe that they would be able to assist you in battles, power to draw upon. And you see the Duke kind of brings a hand up to his chin, kind of very human gesture. He begins like stroking the stubble of his like chin, almost as if he's unfamiliar to it. Like, oh, what's this strange sensation? And he's just like, military power. You know as well as I do, Tobias, that we are quite safe here. What need for such things? Your lights already illuminate our city. And he's like, well, we never know what the future may hold, my Duke. We would not wish to see. I do not believe even His Draconic Majesty could have foreseen the Oriat insurrection coming, and you see the Duke's face kind of grows graver. Very true. What do you think, son? And he looks over to the Obsidius, the other dragon. You are a greater master of magics than I am. What say you to such a thing? And you see the dragon kind of looks, and he is really intently analyzing this man. I have been away for some time, Father. I would wish to learn more about these enhancements. Magic in the hands of humans is dangerous. And you see that the Duke is like, oh, the guild have long been allies of ours, Obsidius. Yes, but I will not trouble you with it, Father. But if I may, before we agree to anything, allow me to investigate. My studies have made me a rather knowledgeable sort on the matter.
Do you oppose this, Tobias? Would it be all right for my son to examine? And you see Tobias kind of course not, my Duke. We would be most honoured to have his Lord Majesty, his Draconic Majesty Obsidius investigate. Perhaps he could even offer us ways of improving our methods. I'm sure that we would have much to learn from one as learned as he. And he says, well, then we will arrange that in the future, where Obsidius will come and explore it. Was there anything else? Otherwise, you can work with the Considerate to organise such a thing. Yes, there is one small other thing, my Majesty, Your Majesty, my Duke. Not that I wish to bring into question the High Marshal's service or the men and women under his command, but we have been having troubles with those thugs and ruffians again. They have been harassing our members of our guild when they try and install and repair our lights. There is a criminal element at work here, and it is causing some trouble. And you see the Duke kind of says, like, oh, High Marshal, I thought that this was being dealt with. And you see the man that had been wearing that well-worn armor, the sort of grey hair with a little grey moustache. He definitely, like, looks at this guild master kind of like, you prick. And he says, we have been, Your Majesty, it's guild politics. And you know, we have had this discussion before. We don't want to get too involved. No other citizens have been harmed as far as I know. And like, you know, he says, no other citizens have been involved. This is a guild matter. Tobias is simply trying to get us involved in his little game of politics. And Tobias is like, my concern is merely for our business, but people enjoy the services that the Lamplighters Guild provide. We make this an illuminated city. People have no fear of thieves and muggers in alleyways with our lights. I only wish to make sure that we continue bringing a great benefit to the city. And the Duke sort of waves. He's like, you should speak with the High Marshal, but perhaps we can arrange a meeting. We will discuss this further, Tobias, at a later date. I do not feel that this is something I can give you my approval for now. I must speak with the High Marshal first. My Duke, I only wish to bring it to your attention, of course. But that is all. As always, the Guild and the other Guild Masters and I extend our services. If there is anything that we can do to service you or the great town of Ashen's Rest, or indeed all of North Vale, we would be most pleased to do so. And he bows and he leaves the building. And you can see a number of people mutter and murmur as Tobias and his allies begin to leave. And you see the Marshal is hurriedly speaking with Zaron Tekis, and Zaron Tekis catches you guys, and there is a mixture of a look of being very mad at you and also a kind of like, we should talk, but there's this kind of like, and then he goes back, gives you kind of a bit of a glare.
Why are you mad?
Because you're causing trouble. Or you're involved in trouble, let's put it that way.
Just got hired, bro.
Yeah. But there's a kind of, they have like a quiet conversation. But then you are stood at the front of this queue, stood before the three dragons.
Oh, my.
The Duke looks at you, and there is a look of like, I see faces I do not recognize. Please, come forward. What business do you have? How can I be of assistance to you?
Step forward, kneel.
Daisy curtsies.
I'll bow.
Your Draconic Majesty, Duke Ignarius.
It's about
Pleasure.
And who do I have the pleasure of speaking? Normally I know many of my visitors. It is often the same problems you have seen already, guild matters and such like, but you are not familiar to me. And he looks to his children. Ember? Not to me, Father, I do not know them. Like, they are certainly not from Pharos. I know all of the important people in Pharos, and they are not among them.
Wow.
Yeah. There is literally whatever. Obsidius is like, not to me either, Father. They are not students of the academia. I've not seen them.
His Draconic Majesty Duke Ignarius, we stand before you as travellers from disparate lands, bearing a writ granted to us by Zaron Tekis, a Duke's favour.
It wasn't by
sorry.
Zaron Tekis.
It says at the bottom there.
Captain Lucas Vaccaro.
Captain Lucas Vaccaro.
Xanthius would know.
Sorry, for some reason I thought it said that. A Duke's favour for our work in assisting the village of Burnell
You see, when you pull it out, and Gruff, I'm assuming you
Gruff
pull it
would,
out.
like, with ceremony, be like,
You see Duke Ignarius, this almost like childish grin kind of pulls across his face, and he is like, marvelous, marvelous. Ah, Tegus, Marshal, is this true? Has this been verified, Considerate? And the Considerate or Edeth is like, it has been verified by Captain Vaccaro and Authority Tekis, my lord. These individuals, these travelers, were heroic in their efforts in the village of Burnell. There was some matter with a cult of one of the Embered, and they assisted in not only saving the town, but in also dealing with a problem, as I understand it, some relic that had gone missing. And the Duke stands up and he walks towards you, this tall figure, and he takes a single knee, and almost like a proud dad, he like looks at you and he's like, it is not often that I come across individuals who are willing to put so much at risk for those they do not know. I have a great love of adventure and heroism. Well done. Well done indeed.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Just cuts a finger. He like looks at you, and like keep in mind, like Rowan is probably in his draconic form. He's probably the same size, but there is still something just incredibly imposing about this figure. Like he kind of takes a knee so that he can probably get like an average view of like Daisy to Rowan and everyone in between. But yeah, Ophelia, did you want to say something?
Is this genuine or is this like...
You can make an insight check.
I was, yeah.
like humouring?
Anybody who wants to can make an insight check.
Because I'm like,
smitten.
if he's walking
Actually,
towards
I'm
us,
not.
well, I'm like spooked. Well, I don't
think
know.
Daisy would. Actually.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants to, doesn't you don't have to. 12?
12 as well.
12 as well. You guys both, like, his body language, like, the smile seems so genuine. There's, like, a glitter in his eyes, his draconic eyes that intensely look at each of you. And he's just smiling wide. And he definitely, like, it was as soon as he saw the writ and it was confirmed, it was like something kind of lit up inside of him. And he just is like, well done. Takes me back. And he kind of stands up and he nods his head. He goes back to his throne and he says, well, those who have received a duke's favor deserve a duke's reward. And he kind of lets that hang for a minute. Do you guys say anything? Sounds like no.
Well, yeah.
Too intimidated. Daisy's just like,
And that might be your character's like, no, I'm just like,
I think Gruff.
Daisy's
yes.
just doesn't know what
The only thing I would say would be, what do you have in mind?
Okay, go on. Well, he says, I feel that those who have given so much, disparate travelers from different lands, it is only fitting that those who have given great and worked at great risk for the benefit of North Vale shall be given a place to call their own within it. And he says, Edath, the deeds to the building on the southern part of town. Is that still, yes? Yes, my Draconic Majesty, they are still available. No one has taken up the property due to the rumors about the place. I am sure such heroic individuals will not care for these children's stories.
South of the city? So
South
close
of the
to,
town.
South of the town, so close to Dominus Ignarum. A true honour.
Number 14 on
Number 14. But it is close to Dominus Ignarum.
You don't have to write anything because obviously you don't have a name for it now, but you can pass that around.
Okay, so we're there.
By this decree, I, Duke Ignarius Ignarum, Lord of North Vale, do bequeath these lands, this building and its surrounding land, to this group. May it be theirs and theirs alone, with no tithe required or payment demanded. For it would be an honor of mine to count such noble souls as my citizens, and to have you here, for if anything befalls Ashenrest, I would expect you to act within its best interests. And he kind of grins. A dukely reward for a dukely deed.
I think I'd bow again, like...
Rowan is puffing his chest out, and his lip is just wobbling up and down, and he's welled up in his eyes. full of pride.
Yeah.
If there's anything that we can be of assistance with, we would be very happy to do so.
He like smiles down at you. Brave words, little one. But yes, speak with my high marshal, speak with my considerate, and indeed our high authority. And he gestures to the little halfling woman that was with Zarantekis. There is always work for great adventurers to do, and in fact, he looks towards considerate. There may be something, yes, a matter to which those who hold great virtue, perhaps who, and he sort of gestures, a knightly matter that may be of interest. But that is something we can discuss later. For now, we must celebrate, and he looks at the audience. Celebrate these champions. What are your names? Speak loud and proud who you are.
Daisy Thistleheart.
He like nods, and you hear the crowd like, Daisy Thistleheart, like,
Xanthias, my lord.
Xanthias.
Hello, my name is Griffith of Tomorrow.
Griffith of Tomorrow.
Rowan gets his loot out. I am Rowan! He hits a chord.
Yeah, like the chord kind of resonates out. Everyone's like, ooh, You see, when you actually play that, make a performance check for me. I just want to see, like, how impressive is this,
19.
19 total?
Yes.
It's enough that you see Emberissa, kind of like pricks up a little bit, and she kind of like looks at you, and like the faintest hint of a smile, like obviously somebody who appreciates music and art, like, oh, that's unexpected. And then, yeah, Ophelia.
'Tis my honor. I am Sister Ophelia De La Rosa of the House of Blood.
The crowd is like not sure what to say, and then some brave soul just goes, Sister Ophelia! You see the Duke, as you guys are all talking, like he smiles and looks at you all, and he kind of took you all in. He kind of, when Xanthias, you look at him, he is smiling. There's like a little something else there. Because he kind of fully takes you in when he got closer and he speaks your name, and kind of sees the golden scales and the golden tail, and that you are a gold dragonborn. He keeps that smile, and like he repeats, because he's like, Daisy, Xanthias, Gruffith of Tremor, and he like goes around, but there's like almost like a catch in his voice. And with Ophelia, there is definitely like a moment where he's like trying to figure you out, and then Obsidius like leans in, kind of whispers to him, and he looks, he says, well, it is my honor to have a diplomatic messenger, a diplomatic envoy here in my town. How have you found my lands thus far, visitor?
Your lands are most welcoming. I have very much enjoyed being here, learning about North Vale and Ashen's Rest. You keep a wonderful kingdom, my lord.
And he is so pleased as much. Like, you can see that there is like this swell of pride, and like also like a bit of an arrogant sort of like, of course it is. And he just nods and smiles. Well, if you require anything, please send word to my considerate. I would very much like to learn more. As I understand, your kingdom, your empire, whatever it is called, you have sent many envoys to the capital and to the other provinces, yes?
Yes, I have. Yes, I believe there should be one traveling now.
I would like to learn more of this. What was it, son? Osseous.
I would be honored to tell you, my lord, Duke Ignarius.
We will set a date for us to convene and discuss, I am sure.
It would be of the highest honor.
He nods. Is there anything else that I can help you with? Or anything you wish to say to me?
Well,
I love you.
we beg not more of your generosity, my gracious Duke, Draconic Majesty. But we have been assisting others in the city as well, in the town as well.
Without even a place to call your own, you help as if you were already citizens of here.
We have assisted in the bathhouse, and I'll like gesture up to those people in the
the mother and father of the bathhouse, the acolytes of
almost in hoping that they would almost
Saint Sophie
kind of nod back to us.
And they sort of like bow their heads. They totally nod, and like you can see that like Aurel, the mother of the House of the Rose, is like blushing, like she's kind of like, oh, and like when the Duke looks at her and she's like, oh.
And even the matter you heard of earlier from the Lamplighters, we were hoping to assist them as well.
You should have been here last week.
We did tell him.
Already?
No.
Marvelous. You do such great works already. Well, go inspect your new property, I believe, and know that you have done a great deed, and it will not be forgotten. Well done to these travelers. And you hear like, oh yes, like the audience all kind of claps and
Stop.
yeah, you guys. So with the conclusion of you finally presenting this and it being witnessed by everyone in Ashen's Rest, I am gonna give you your first. This is a kind of tracking mechanic that we're gonna keep track of. You have gained a point of renown. Point of renown.
Okay.
In North Vale. So now remember that the Empire is split into different provinces, and within provinces there are different regions, right? And your fame can go outwards. If you get quite famous in one region, it might begin to spread out into other regions, right? Now, for now, renown on its own right now won't do too much for you. As you complete quests or you do deeds that make that region see you in a positive light, you will gain more renown, and you might even be able to spend renown. For example, if in the future you need to convince a group or a faction or a guild to help you, I might let you spend a point of your renown to just get them on your side, because your fame speaks for you, right? Or your actions speak for you. Likewise, you might need to attain a certain level of renown to maybe buy certain things or get aid or request help in stuff like that. It's almost like a reputation level, right? Like in an MMORPG. However, there is a downside. And if you do deeds that bring ruin or, bring you infamy, you might lose points of renown. And if you drop to a certain point of renown, you might not be welcome in that area anymore. Or you might not be able to speak to a noble member of the Duke. I will tell you now, like, for example, Sister Ophelia, if you want to meet with the Duke and speak about faith and do that, you're probably going to need a higher level of renown. Like, he's kind of made that polite, like, yes, let's talk later.
Yeah.
But actually, to get a meeting with him, you're going to need to, like, build up more favor points, right, to be able to do that.
Oh, she's gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat him.
So we need to just.
What? What? No, bad diplomacy. Bad.
Think about this. If people blood tastes so good,
Dragon
how
blood.
good would dragon blood taste?
What that dragon blood
You'd
do?
explode.
What that dragon blood do?
We need to find the quickest repeatable daily so that we can up our renown in North Vale.
All right, to
Yeah,
the bounty
okay.
board.
Yeah.
But yes.
So to clarify, when I was mentioning the Lamplighters thing, I know.
You don't need to clarify anything. It's done,
But
it's
the
done.
intent, the idea is like for people to see, like, oh, they helped with this. These people at the bathhouse, they helped with guild. That was like
Sure.
Yeah,
maybe I
you know
didn't.
the carpenters and the blacksmith guild are in the queue behind us.
I
and they're
know.
really pissed off.
I know, but like, maybe I didn't say it specifically, but with the idea that we have some information about the problem that they had just been addressed with.
Yeah. I think
That
what
we
you
might
said
get-
is that you would help the Lamplighters Guild with the matter of ruffians attacking
Yep,
them.
you did.
That's what you
No,
said.
I didn't.
You
Well,
said
no.
the matter
Yeah,
just
that's
discussed.
Oh, fucking
Yeah, you
whatever.
I mean, I know what Tom was like trying to get at, and that like, oh, we maybe wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We know a bit about that.
Yeah.
That's what you were implying, right?
Xanthia said it correctly.
Okay. Sure. All right. Okay.
Also, the renown chat came up. I wasn't able to finish. It was a whole thing. I had like 10 pages of speech ready to go.
I don't think you did.
No, I didn't.
I don't think you did. I think that's a lie. But with that, you guys are you do have to sort of like you are kind of encouraged, like, it's the end, like you
need to leave.
You do overhear that behind you these stonemasons step forward. You only catch a little bit of their conversation to the Duke as you're kind of being ushered out, but you overhear that they are trying to press upon the Duke that they have been unfairly treated, and that the guild has suffered unfair treatment because of the religious freedoms of the citizens, and that the Church of the Scions, especially the High Priestess Altheya, have been sending followers and warriors to threaten the members of the guild about the Imperial Flame being there and things
Blasphemy.
like that. But you overhear that the stonemasons are trying to impress upon the Duke that it is not fair, that the Empire and the Church have not outright said that the Imperial Flame cannot be worshipped, but that they are
basically bullying them and like trying to do it subtly and like trying to stop them from believing in what they want to believe. You overhear the Duke listening, but you don't catch his response to any of that as you're kind of nuzzled out. The other thing that I think Gruff picks on is the Blacksmiths Guild. You see the orc lady, who you believe is the guild master that Grayson had mentioned to you, is kind of looking at the group of you, not quite sure, like based on like what Xanthea said, but knowing what Grayson has said about you, is this kind of like confused, like, what are you guys about? Like, you know, what's going on kind of thing.
We were told before to keep silent when stuff was happening, weren't we?
You were just encouraged that like you probably don't want to try and accuse anything because you don't have any evidence. Like
No. At the beginning of this audience, before
Speak when spoken to.
yeah.
yes, no, yeah, you're not allowed to like. You are only allowed to speak if you are asked to speak by
So
the
Gruff
Duke.
would know that if he was to try and have a quiet word with her.
Not right now.
Here, shut up.
Something for
Headmistress.
later. Yeah, definitely something for later for sure.
Give them a nice smile.
I'd give her a friendly nod.
Yeah, sure. And with that, we are going to take our break here, as that is the first part of the episode done. And then I guess with the second part, we will have you guys go and examine
Our cursed,
your
haunted,
deed.
built on a graveyard.
Who said anything
like-
about haunted? I said there were rumours about it.
I think we should
Children's
ask people
tales.
what the rumors are.
You can do that as well if you want. But yeah, we will proceed with that in the next part.
Yeah.
Hole in the
All
roof.
right.
Oh yeah, MTV Cribs.
Dilapidated.
Please
See
just
you
be
in
right.
part 2.
Bye.
Could be rats.
Bye.
Rats in the soup. Welcome back to part 2 of Altheya the Dragon Empire, episode 14, His Draconic Majesty. Our heroes have finally attended the public audience with Duke Ignarius, and they have presented their duke's favor, and in return, they have been given deeds to land and maybe a building, we don't know, here in Ashen's Rest to call their own. With no tithe, it will be theirs to keep and do with as they wish. They also got to meet His Draconic Majesty, Duke Ignarius, as well as his 2 children, Emberissa and Obsidius. And perhaps furthered the ongoing politics and endeavors going on here in Ashen's Rest as well. But as you guys leave Dominus Ignarum, you are back out onto the streets. The public audience, the queue is... there is a lot of people to speak to the Duke today. This is probably going to be most of the Duke's day. So there is a kind of long trailing town. You can see that people are going to be filtering in and out of the audience throughout the day as well. But the town is still going about its business, just a little quieter than normal. Giving you plenty of time to go about and do anything you wish to do.
Well, I guess like the authorities and all of those people, they're going to be in there all day as well, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, they'll be, again, probably coming, going out and doing bits and bobs and
Time to
stuff like
commit
that.
some crimes.
There is still town's guard and things like that around. Yeah, it's not like it's not the streets are empty. It's just that, you know, there's like when you have a big event.
Pile into the dome.
Yeah. It's when you have a big event on. So, what do you guys want to do?
In terms of like the formalities of us receiving a deed, we were just told we have a deed.
Yeah, it will probably be like, it'll take like a couple of days to have like paperwork drafted up, to be inputted into records and things like that. But the fact that the Duke himself, in front of all those witnesses, basically said it's as good as yours now anyway. It's not been formalized property. But the fact is that when he marked that there was no tithe to pay, basically means that like you're not paying like rent or tax on it. So a big thing in this world is every like twice a year, there is the hoarding, which is when the dragons and the draconic lords take their tithe, their tax, basically. And that can be in the form of gold, it can be form of military service, or it can be form of goods like
They
wheat
want
and
it
farm.
gold, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Well, not all, no. Some dragons, they don't hoard gold in the same way that like Smaug does. Like some dragons hoard art. Art is actually more common than gold pieces and jewelry. Dragons love objects of worth like art, jewelry, expensive clothing, rare materials, beautifully made weapons and armor. They prefer that than to just money. Money doesn't really mean anything to them.
But the thing is, because you've called it the hoardings, I just have this image of my mind of whatever it is, they're still rolling around in it.
Yeah, I mean, well, or they
Rolling around on the art.
yeah,
rolling
or
around
like
on
for
the
me, it's like they just fill it in a room and they're just like, I love
They're
it.
just touching everything.
But the thing is they take it, but they then also pass it on to, they would have once passed it on to the Empress and the infrastructure for the Empire.
Dead now.
Well, now there is the question of like,
I believe.
what is that?
Blasphemy.
Once we're out of the dome,
Yes, out of Dominus Ignorum. back onto the street.
Rowan is just group hugging everyone. Oh, we have a home! A home where we can all live together forever.
Well, yeah.
And die together.
We should go and see it. We should go
should.
look at it.
My wife might have something to say about that.
What about the rumours?
You can
Did
bring
you catch
it.
that? The rumours?
Yeah, we need to find out what the rumors are, but I think we should go and look at it because we're close
Go look
anyway.
at the place.
Yes.
You may as well.
I'm saying it now, it's haunted.
I don't want haunted. We can
Nobody
deal with haunted,
wants
right? We
that.
can get rid of haunted. Ophelia, you can deal with haunted,
What you
right?
consider to be haunted may be considered friends to myself, so
You can deal with them.
it'll be fine. It'll be
Hopefully
fine.
we can put haunted into just one room, and then you can deal with haunted, and the rest of us can have a lovely, nice house, right? That we operate from. We come back to. Oh, we don't. We might have to say goodbye to the Tariks.
We can visit though.
Well, yes,
Fine.
because I paid for an amount of days.
I believe that's now ended. I believe you
Oh,
paid
good.
for 2 nights or something like that.
Oh, we did because we weren't sure what the favour would get us.
Way to decorate, get furnishings and all sorts, and
Oh, great.
paintings, and it's
Yes.
been delightful.
Earthy greens.
Dark
everywhere.
reds and velvet.
Okay, well, there's an in-between colour
We have
there.
a section, a Rowan section. I'll have an Ophelia
yes,
section. There's
yeah.
Altheya section. We could divide it up.
How big do you think their house
It's
is?
got to be massive. If the Duke
can we
himself
sell?
Said it
gave
was
it
south
up,
of
it
the
must be
south of the
like a
town,
mansion.
close to the Ignarum.
Daisy's
in the
gonna
Heart's
start
Way.
walking towards
I'll
that
start
way.
walking this
Sure.
way.
You guys make your way, having this
We're
conversation.
not stood still, T-posing,
There's-
talking.
there is-
We are moving.
Is that how you talk to people normally?
Yeah.
You got a T-pose.
Posing?
Make your way out back onto sort of one of the main streets that leads to the south gate of Ashen Rest, into an area called the Heart's Way, which is kind of a big area of commerce and business. You pass the Coil of the Empress, and you begin making your way, following the loose directions. You know, you probably would have been told by somebody on the way out, like, oh yeah, it's here, blah, blah, blah. And you begin making your way to, on the map, it is point 14. What you see as you approach, you can see that there are rows of houses. It's kind of tucked away, but it's quite close to the southern gate. And you can see that the houses and businesses here are quite flourishing. You're looking at kind of like middle class, like kind of, you know, busy commerce kind of looking area.
Well, these houses are lovely.
And you see that on the corner, it's a substantial amount of space, and it's one building that is surrounded by a sort of iron fence. It has like a garden area, and it seems to have like a secondary building, but it is actually what appears to have once been a tavern. However, it does not seem to be in the best condition. The fence that surrounds it is rusted and a bit dilapidated. The gardens are overgrown, ivy spilling out. The buildings themselves, you can see that the large main tavern building has broken windows, maybe looks like a part of the roof. It looks like it's been abandoned for a while, and it looks like it's just suffered some structural damage because of that. But it is a considerable amount of land here.
Okay.
The tavern building itself is a large building. You could easily, it doesn't have to remain a tavern, you can do what you want with it. But there is also a secondary outbuilding, which is beside it, which has its own entrance that could be used, and it has stone foundations. Again, it's all kind of fallen in the upper floors, but it could be turned into whatever you want it to be, really. And then it has a large garden area as well that could, again, be done with what you wish.
But it's not terrible. It's not like next to this, I guess, the next door house.
Well, it is right by the tournament grounds, in fact. You can actually see there that it is quite close to the tourney grounds.
Noise in there.
On a tournament day, yes, but
We can see the tournament from the upstairs window.
it does look like if you were on the top floor, it looks like it's
tickets,
3
baby.
floors. If you were sat on the roof, for example, you could easily look into the tournament field.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and you can see that it's mainly surrounded by like homes or small businesses, like little local butchers and grocers and things like that. But it's all fairly upmarket, but this place does look pretty abandoned. There is a guild Everlight outside, but it's broken.
Good.
Stay that way.
Yeah.
Trying to fix it. No, my land!
You see that it's kind of the whole area is surrounded by this iron, like rusted kind of fence. But there is a set of stone steps that lead up to what would have been the entrance to the tavern. And there is just this very broken, like hanging by one chain sign. And it's very faded and kind of looks worn out. That shows like a succubus-like figure drinking and kind of almost beckoning with like a finger. And in faint writing, it says the enticing devil.
Keeping it.
The enticing
I don't really like that name, personally.
I love it.
It's there's work to be done.
It's cozy.
But I mean, it's
It brings the
The
outdoors.
size of the land, this would easily be worth like tens of thousands of gold, by the way. Like just in such a prominent location as well. Like this is valuable. This has a value to it, you know.
Is there anyone on the roads or like local businesses outside wandering around at the moment?
Yeah, there's definitely some people. Like you can see that like I said, there are small businesses, like a little butchers and grocers, and maybe a little bakery down the street. Just like very small places that I've not named yet because
Right,
I was
sure.
like, adventurers probably aren't going to worry too much about where a small bakery selling fresh bread is. Yeah, okay, I regret my decision.
Think again,
now. Yeah,
motherfucker.
but there are also opposite the tavern. There is a row of like homes, like people's houses, homes. But yeah, there are people.
I was going to suggest, would we want to meet some of our, I guess, neighbours now and find out what these
We could have
rumours...
such lovely neighbours that
could.
look after us and we
They-
look after them. And
Exactly, we should
all
make
know their
ourselves
names.
known.
So Groff's gonna step up to the door and he's making that noise.
Door of the tavern or like an adjacent.
Our tavern,
Yeah.
like and just be like knocks on the door, knocks on the frame.
A door swings open. It's not locked.
I tell you now, I bet the foundations are rotten. Shingles up there are cracked. Drains definitely not been cleaned in ages.
Okay,
Grass overgrown.
we can cut the grass.
I just
We can
honestly,
re-shingle the shingles.
State of this.
Do you want me to actually give you the exact kind of like, Gruff, all of the things Gruff says is true, but you can identify the clear points that will take time and money to repair on this building as
Being
well.
a dad about.
Yeah.
You know when dads go into a house and just knock on everything?
You're like,
But also
Picking
that
up
has
the
a
fence
valuable,
posts.
but that has a response.
I'm actually right in this case.
Yeah, you are very right. Things like the roof and stuff, like, they're not the best shingles, but they'll hold, right? They're fine. Like, they don't need to be fixed.
Good
No big
storm
holes.
that's coming off.
Yeah. By all means, like, they could be upgraded, but they will be okay for now.
Leaky.
you should say more stuff. All of this is coming true.
There is
There's a million gold in the basement.
There's $1 million gold in the
There's
basement.
not $1 million gold in the
Okay.
basement. The roof itself is collapsed in a section in the main area of the building. That, I have numbers and stats here if you want to examine it or speak to somebody about what it would cost to get it repaired. All of the windows are broken. That's one thing you notice. Every single window is broken.
Okay.
Drafty.
From the downstairs, there's the second floor, which seems to have been guest rooms for the tavern. And then there is a room at the very top on a third floor, like a single large room that probably would have belonged to the tavern's owners, right? And that's got windows broken. It's all broken. The garden as well is incredibly overgrown. Like, it is in a bad way. It's
so
that
many
would also take
deflated
some work.
footballs in here.
And bamboo.
Frisbees, yeah.
Oh, don't.
Lots of bamboo.
No, okay, we're not staying here.
There's no bamboo.
We are going somewhere else.
Wrong climate for bamboo, but yeah.
Fantasy bamboo.
Yeah. There's,
Not bamboo.
Yeah.
Bamboo.
Bamboo weed, it's called, yeah.
Gruff, don't go in just yet, remember? Could be haunted. Could be haunted.
I is haunted by the spirit of whatever cowboy builder built this and left.
Now,
It's a cowboy.
what's a cowboy?
Charlatan. A charlatan builder.
Okay. Wait, isn't Osseous to the west?
Yeah.
I don't think actually. Yeah.
Is Altheya a cowboy?
Eastern.
Eastern,
Yeah, it's to the east.
To us, yes.
Yeah.
Rootin' tootin'.
Room to him, sucking blood.
Have you seen that? There's a poem of somebody describing that cowboys are just like they're alternative witches because they have a lot of like similarities and stuff. And somebody took the Toil and Bubble poem and they did it so it's about cowboy witches instead.
Oh my god.
And it's very good. I can't remember it word for word, but it's very.
Excuse me, I now need to write a book about cowboy witches.
Yeah.
Episode over for a second. Well, let's go speak to someone who might know about this place.
Yeah, if there's any rumors,
Yeah.
the neighbors would know. Oh, there's
Look,
a
there's a-
bakery down
a
there.
bakery
we could
down the
ask
road.
them, I
Yeah.
suppose.
What's that
is,
sign on the side of the bakery?
Fuck you. I will point as well, because you did go up to the door and it opened. Inside the tavern, there are some remnants of furniture. A lot of it is broken or has been damaged.
Shoddy.
Looks like anything of value has kind of long been stripped out of this place. But there are like tables and chairs, some of which are broken, some of which are still intact. There are shelves, there's the bar. You can see that there appears to be like a little room out the back for like maybe a kitchen or something like that. Stairs that go up to the second floor, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's all kind of a little bit broken down.
Rowan will go into the main tavern area.
I'm going to stay here for a moment and feel what the tavern is feeling.
Okay.
You can do that with wood?
Yes,
Okay.
just give me 10 minutes.
Keep a watch of him, just in case he gets...
He sits down on the squeaky floorboards and does harmonious recall, which is his ability to attune himself with the...
Would you read out what it does for us, please?
I spend 10 minutes listening to the music of either a natural location or an object made of wood, metal, or stone that is no larger than a 5-foot cube. So I'm going to look
door.
for something
Well,
that's
keep in mind that a
size.
building is not a natural place. You would have to probably go out into the garden to do that.
This is the wrong place.
Yeah, like
Stand up.
as a point, like this place will work on like natural terrain, like a building or a city or something like that.
Okay, the plot of land that I'm in, I'll go into the overgrown garden and attune to it.
Okay. Give me a minute.
You can have 10. That's
Was
how long
it
it
the
takes.
enticing devil?
That it was it was original name. You don't have to keep that name. It's just what it used to be called.
Now, what do we feel about the name? Are we keeping... Is this a
What do
tavern?
we think about the pillars?
Not in love.
So it's the name of the place and potentially us as a group? The Pillars of, what was it, Destiny?
Pillars of fortune, destiny, wisdom, power.
So, you does take 10 minutes and you do have to concentrate. So, like, any conversation is happening before you start doing this, by the way. This is like concentrating on a spell, like you're silently kind of like focusing, right? So, are you, the rest of you, going to go to like this little bakery whilst Rowan does that? Because it is going to take him 10 minutes. It's going to take him some time.
If there are people like on the road, nearby businesses and things, just anyone that might know of this place.
Sure.
Are people like recoiling in horror away from it?
Well, on the street, you definitely the few people that you see. You guys, who's going by the way? So Xanthias and Daisy.
I'm gonna stay with Rowan,
stay with
and I'm
Rowan.
just tutting at everything. I'm just going around tutting.
Yeah, sure. What about Ophelia?
I think she'll stay with Rowan.
She'll stay with Rowan as well?
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, so Xanthias and Daisy, you guys go out onto the street, and you don't see anybody recoiling in fear, but there's definitely a few people, like, looking at you like, what are you doing? Like, why are they at that building? And you see a couple of, like, a little gang of kids, like, on the street. They're, like, kicking a ball around, and they're, like, see you going in, and they're, like, excitedly talking to each other. And they're pointing at you, and then they do that childish thing where they, like, when you look at them, they run away, and then they're, like, peering from, like, an alleyway, like, watching what you're doing. Down the street, the nearest place is this little bakery, little cafe, actually. I'm gonna slightly, it's a little cafe.
Okay.
And it is called, because I
baked goods over there.
I did a random D&D shop name generator.
Sure.
It's called a Latte Fun.
But what if it had a different name? What if you rolled
No.
But you
That
like
is the
lattes.
name of the little bakery / cafe. It is called a Latte Fun.
So you are confirming that
Milk
lattes
fun.
exist in this world.
It's just coffee and milk.
It's just milk.
Frothy.
Latte is just
Magic froth milk.
This is milk fun.
Milk
no
fun.
bamboo though.
No, it's not.
No,
You've given me you've given me an idea, Chris Trott.
Wait, what's that?
And when you see inside, it is this beautiful, and it's like a little, cozy core, little cottage core, little cafe. It's got a little patio outside, and it's just down the street. It's at the very end of the sort of corner. So it is. It's this little building right on the corner here.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
Of next to you. So there's a building between it and your new building.
Okay.
And it's this little dainty cottagecore thing. There's like little flowers and little flower boxes and things like that. And it's almost done up to look a little bit like a barn. And when you look inside, there is a very rotund, lovely lady who is a cow wild heart.
Okay. Okay.
And she's there. Oh, hello there, dearie. How you doing? No, wait. I want to do like a Midwestern kind of American accent, like, oh, hey there. Yeah, she's gonna be like
That's
this.
Canadian.
Yeah, she's Canadian now, eh? Oh, hello. Hey, how you doing there?
Oh, hello. I'm
Welcome to a latte fun.
a latte fun.
A latte fun.
That is a lovely name.
Oh, thank you very much.
We
You can see that she's got like big, cow, like bovine ears. She's got like little horns. Big kind of like, like housewife bouffant haircut.
Oh no, just no, it just suck it. No.
She's always pregnant.
I didn't say that. I did not say that. I was thinking something else, but
I
okay.
just took the next step.
Yeah, sure.
and this building, like, if Daisy stands in front of it, she's invisible. This is basically like
How dare you?
cottage core, like that kind of building, right?
This cow gets around. A lot of fun.
That whole side of the table. Like,
They're gone.
We're new to Ashen's Rest, but we are going to be. We're going to be moving in just down the road.
Oh, that's great.
And I thought it would make
that's
sense for us
wonderful, eh?
to meet the neighbours and get to know the
Oh,
area.
that's really sweet of you. Only fair that you get a nice. And she goes, "Would you like a drink and a little snack?"
Yes, I would love to try.
Why are you Irish?
I'm gonna keep changing. I think I'm gonna stick with the Irish because I can do
Okay.
that a lot more consistently.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I'll stick with the Irish now. I think.
You went really Irish.
I went really Irish, didn't I? Been watching Jacksepticeye play Dark Souls 3. Top of the morning to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
He was a coffee company as well.
I'll get him to sponsor.
Oh my god.
Jacksepticeye, I'm going to get him as a guest. He's actually the guy who owns this cafe. He's going to play a cowman.
Hashtag ad.
Sure.
I would love some drinks. Actually, yes. How much would they be?
Well, no, your guests, your new neighbours, I'll do it for free. Wouldn't that be nice?
It would be lovely.
Do you drink coffee?
I
Drink it.
Yeah.
admit Is coffee like coffee's a thing, right?
Coffee's a thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's not an uncommon like.
No,
Wow,
not at
a
all.
Rarity. Coffee.
No. It's a common thing.
Yeah, I would love one, and there's a few more of us actually.
No.
Three more.
We're moving into the old.
They're not
town.
here, but you are. That's a lot of coffees. I was just going to do it for the two of you.
That's fine. But we just wondered if you
Just
could
to
tell
get-
us anything about the old tavern.
The old tavern. Why do you want to know about the devil?
Well, that's the land that has been bequeathed to us, so to speak. Maybe not quite the right word.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, we heard there were
she
rumours.
goes and she like shuffles around. I'll get you some extra lovely cakes. You know what? Coffee's for all of your friends as well. I'll
What?
do that. Oh, and she
we-
begins making it.
we heard there were rumours,
Oh, by
but-
the saints and scions. Oh, bless these souls. Bless these hearts.
Well, what's wrong with the place? What's happened?
Oh, it's a dreadful thing. Dreadful thing, you know.
No.
No, we don't know.
No, we don't. We're new here.
It's haunted.
It's haunted. It's haunted. See, we had an inclination that it might have been, as in ghosts. Ghosts, right? Ghosts. We're talking ghosts.
Most terrible spirit. Oh, you should hear wailing away some nights. And I've never seen her, but a few of the children and a few of the braver adults who have been around at night, they've seen her. The scarred lady.
Scarred. Scarred Lady. Hey, write that down for me.
Yeah.
Write that down in your little diary.
It's in
journal.
there.
When was the last time anyone stayed in this place, in this tavern?
Oh, goodness me. Goodness me, it's been a while. I'm gonna find my details.
I got lots of notes and they're all spread out.
I just want to see him make this coffee.
I just want Anthea to drink the coffee.
There's a big jug of milk on the side, and she just pours it.
Just ready to go.
Ready, froths it up, yeah, and adds it to the coffee.
Coffee's
It's a lovely little brew thing. They've got those filters, like paper filters, because obviously, you know, you wouldn't have machines, you got paper ones.
Oh, can I have a little bit of cinnamon dusting?
Very good.
You can do a bit of cinnamon. I've got some honey and things like that as well. Yeah, if you'd like. And we got fresh bread and we got fresh pastries, and you know. You can have a lovely little platter. I'll do a little box. I'll do a lovely little box for you. And she begins
Much
gets like
appreciated.
a little kind of like box, like little wooden box, and fills it with cupcakes and little a fresh little sourdough, and fills it all up with things.
Have you seen this Scarred Lady?
Oh goodness, no! By the gods, no!
Okay.
No! I'd faint. Me soul would come right out of my body.
Right. Okay.
If I did. Oh, a terrible thing. She will tell you that. Well, I think it's been at least a sort of a few years, maybe close to a decade, maybe 10 years, 8 years. It was such a sad time. I was a lot younger back then, but there was a lovely couple, and they came and they bonded. They had great hopes for that place, but I think that. Well, the owner, the gentleman, he made a very poor decision calling it that name, the enticing devil. Oh, once people started hearing it, and the church got involved, and they advised people not to go, saying it was a place of all sorts of bad behavior and corrupting things, calling it a name like that. Said that he had made deals with devils and other planar powers and such, and so business sort of dried up, and then his wife left him, and he just had to close the whole thing up. And he closed it when the Scarred Lady, she started appearing shortly after that.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry, that story didn't go exactly how I was expecting it to go. I was expecting one of those two to have passed away and become the ghost. But if the Scarred Lady is something entirely different,
well, we believe it was somebody who was murdered there after it had been abandoned.
Murdered after.
Yes,
okay.
she appeared sort of, very not long after the gentleman had left. What was his name again? Cavon. Cavon was his name. Was the man who owned it.
Cavon.
Damien.
Okay, so your advice then is to not keep the name.
Oh, if you want to run it as a tavern, certainly not. No, we're all good children of the saints and scions here, and, invoking a name like that, a devil, a planar power, that's a terrible thing.
It is indeed. We haven't really got any plans. Today is the first we'd heard about this place, and today is the first time seeing it.
You've bought it, you've owned it, and you didn't know anything about it.
Oh, well, no, we
were given it.
Oh, well, a bit of a double-edged sword, I think, there, then. It's a beautiful spot, and it's such a, it's a grand place, and it's a big bit of land, and you, if it wasn't for the Scarred Lady, you'd have a right treat. You'd have a right treat there, I reckon.
Okay. So we have to, we intend to fix it up as best we can, and also, I suppose, find a way to deal with this Scarred Lady.
Oh yes, you better get in a priest and holy water, douse the whole place in holy water, and hope that you scare her away, I reckon.
You're going to say douse it in oil.
Burn it all. Get a father down and get him to bless the whole thing.
Salt the earth.
Would you like a cup of tea? But no, she will.
Well,
go on then.
Well, I'll
Go on.
tell the rest of my friends the story of this place, but do you know anyone who might have seen the Scarred Lady?
Oh, well, some of the houses who live opposite, they say that, sometimes they see her in the windows and things like that, glancing down. I think that you know, and I tell the children not to do it. It's a dangerous thing, but the children play games where they try and dare, because, you know, it's not locked up or anything. Children climb over the fence and get in and things like that, but they dare each other to go inside and try and bring things out. It's a bit of a game for them, but I know that there have been a couple of instances where they've had a right fright, a right shock to the system.
Now, silence forbid, has the scarred lady hurt anyone?
Oh, I think most people are most people are too scared to go in and too scared to confront the ghost. But they no, I mean, but she breaks the windows. You know, I've heard that she breaks the windows, and she's the one who broke the light outside. She broke that light outside.
I see.
But no, as far as I know, nobody's been hurt because any who have seen her just run away. They're so frightened.
Okay, no, that's good to know. Well, as I said, we'll be just down the road.
Oh, well, saints and scions bless you, and I wish you all the best of luck with it, my dears.
We'll do our best.
Of course, of course.
And thank you for the coffees and the...
Thank you.
Oh, you're more than
snacks.
welcome. You're most welcome. I'm Maeve, by the way.
Maeve.
Yes.
Sorry, Maeve, I did not ask your name. That is...
Oh, I didn't ask yours, sir. No, not a problem. I'm sure we'll
not telling you.
I'm sure we'll get to know each other just fine over the coming time. And you know, you're always welcome. Come down here in the morning and have yourself a lovely coffee and a pastry and all sorts of loveliness.
I'll have a little sip. How good's the coffee?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good
it's
coffee.
Pretty good. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. It's got
Great.
the cinnamon in it, just like you asked.
Oh,
and
it's
wonderful.
I will definitely be
I'm
coming
glad,
back.
I'm glad. Well, consider this a welcome to the neighbourhood gift.
Oh, well, I must get you a gift as well to... I don't know how this works.
Moisturiser.
But thank you very much. I will go inform the others of the
filtering.
story and hopefully we can deal with this problem.
I hope so too. Oh, I hope so too, my dear. Saints and scions bless you.
And you as well.
Just imagining him with a milk moustache.
Daisy?
Yes.
Oh, your coffee.
Thank you.
Drink up.
Drink it, Daisy.
I will.
Good.
It's delicious. Delicious coffee. Delicious latte.
Daisy
from the
shouldn't
tea.
be given caffeine though, so she's like jittery as hell.
Yeah.
Okay, it's haunted. Exactly what we thought.
Yep.
Somehow.
It's the fact you guys didn't miss a beat when I was like, here, have a house. And immediately you went, it's probably haunted. And I just looked at my notes where it's just like the haunting of the enticing devil in. And I was just like, nice.
Well, you said there might be some rumors. Haunted.
I mean, we
Haunted,
said this
there's a
weeks ago,
ghost.
didn't we, though, that gifting land isn't necessarily a great thing.
It will be.
Eventually.
Eventually.
Who knows? Maybe it's not true. Maybe these are all just rumors, right? You don't know. This is all just rumors.
Person with a spooky sheet over their head.
No one's been...
Could be a Scooby-Doo. Maybe there's a gang of thieves pretending to be a ghost.
And it's a safe
It's
house.
Old Man Willikers.
No, it's Duke Ignarius on his day off.
Yeah.
God damn it.
No, it wouldn't be the Duke. That's too much. In a Scooby-Doo, it would be the Considerate, right? He's the
It
most
would be
Maeve. Yeah. She's done it to boost her business sales because like she
There was
didn't
a
want
tavern
competition.
just down the road.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Moo.
I knew it was you, Maeve.
If this ghost says moo, you know you've onto something. Yeah. I nearly called her like Muella or Moola, but I was like, no, I'm gonna call her Moo.
Too much.
Too close.
Yeah. I have to come up with a good pun name for a surname though.
We have to be delicate when we go back to the others, especially with Rowan.
Maeve Grassmeadow.
But no one's been hurt there. No one's been hurt there by this scarred lady. So how bad can it really be? We can handle wailing at night. We can handle window smashing, right?
I don't want to live in a house that's called something about the devil.
That can change. We can take the sign down. If all it takes is to take the sign down, that solves the problem, we can take the sign down. I don't like the name, we change the name. We don't deal with the ghost. I don't want to deal with the
Seems
ghost.
like you're getting a bit overwhelmed.
I don't know what ghosts can do. Ophelia will know. Ophelia will know.
Speaking of Ophelia, so Rowan, Ophelia, and Gruff have all stayed behind. Rowan, over 10 minutes.
you trying to tune to like the natural earth and land here. The garden has been sort of been left. It's part of the when the city was built, it was probably left as like natural terrain. The music that you hear is one of sorrow. It speaks of a sadness, of a bitterness that kind of lingers in your mind. There is a hint of pain and suffering here. And you know that the land itself, there is a darkness about it as well. And as you communicate, Rowan and Altheya, like, Rowan is kind of lost in a meditative state. Are you guys, like, actively, like, watching him? Or are you going around the building? Like, what are you guys doing?
100% going around, tutting at everything.
Yeah, sure. So
Totting
just
up
fully
how much
doing a
it's gonna
full...
cost,
Sure.
like-
Yep.
Putting his foot through things.
Yeah. Okay, great. I'll come back to you in a minute with that then stuff then. And
Tapping
what about-
everything.
What about Altheya?
Yeah, Ophelia's going to be watching over Rowan, just out of out of interest as
Okay,
well.
okay. Can Altheya make a perception check for me, please?
Okie dokie, interesting.
We're gonna get jump scares.
Perception. Oh, that's not
Ophelia is
great.
the jump scare. It's fine.
7.
7. You tell me, like, what would something maybe like Ophelia's distracted, like, or something like that? Like, is there a reason that you are not doing a great job of looking over Rowan? Is it that you're distracted? Is it that you're thinking in your mind, or?
She's probably like humming a little tune in her head, like thinking about like her vision with the Greyfather and how well today has gone. She's becoming overwhelmed with the sensation of wanting to dance with Percival and just feeling
Nice.
that joy overwhelm her again.
Amazing. So as you kind of almost imagine that, you almost like spin and sort of like turn, and your attention is driven away from Rowan. One thing you do notice is that next to the tavern building, kind of separate in the garden, is a large, other structure. And you could almost imagine that, like, that's probably about the right size for, like, maybe a small shrine or something like that. Like, if one were so inclined, it could be built into something else, right? Like a place to conduct, a services, or like, very similar to, you can almost picture the churches and shrines of Osseous there. You unfortunately mean you don't notice that as Rowan has been sat there in a meditative state, these kind of thorny vines have almost begun to shuffle and move. And Rowan, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage.
Figured.
You have so much stuff in your dice tray.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do
Picture of myself.
He really does.
Picture of you.
Put it there.
Yeah, he's looking at it now.
Listen, we love self-love. Self-love is a great thing.
Oh, it's a 12.
A 12. As you are sat there, you feel something wrap around your leg. And one of these bushes, you don't remember sitting that close to a bush, but now there is almost this like thorny rose bush that is right next to you, and one of its vines is like wrapped around your leg, and its thorns begin to pierce into you. And I'm going to spend one of my fate die to boost the damage roll.
Oh.
You take 11 points
Wow.
of piercing damage as this thing constricts like a snake, and it grabs your leg. You are also grappled by this thing. Yeah, like Altheya, you hear like Rowan kind of make this noise, and you see this vine is like crushing Rowan's leg, and its thorns are like digging into his skin.
Badland!
Yeah.
Stop it!
Can the two of you and Gruff actually roll initiative for me?
Oh, cool.
It's a nice coffee, though.
It's really
good to have
nice.
just so close by.
Should have got some cinnamon
Didn't get
yours.
low this time.
Oh, maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Maybe next time.
So Altheya with 21.
Yeah.
What a nice day.
What do we get for Rowan?
Oh my goodness, the cakes are delightful.
8.
8, and Gruff?
5.
5, cool. That makes sense. Gruff, I'm going to just come with you briefly, and then we'll come back to that. I just wanted to get that initiative down. Gruff, you have been going around this building You find out that it does have a basement. The basement is
Full of rats.
It's not full of rats. It has a horrible, like, dank smell. There's mold. There's rust. Like, it's been abandoned for a while. There's a bit of stagnant water. Maybe a leak from above has like caused rainwater to seep in. It's become very damp and mucky and moldy. But it's a sizable basement. You could easily fit things down here. It looks like it once would have held like kegs and like things like that. The main ground floor of the tavern is very spacious. Again, the roof's collapsed in and a part of it. There are broken windows, but it's all kind of like fixable. You go up to the second floor, and I believe there are 3 guest rooms of a fairly good size on the second floor. And it has a balcony that looks down onto the ground floor, the main floor. There is then a third floor at the very top, which is kind of like a singular grand bedroom, but it does have its own attached bathroom. It's kind of like a living space up there. And you notice that a lot of that has been, the furniture's still there, but it's all trashed. Like, there is a 4-poster bed, completely smashed to pieces. There is what would have once been a desk with a vanity on it, smashed, mirror smashed, the desk is smashed, the wardrobe smashed. There's, like, strips of clothing that have been abandoned. The windows are broken. Everything's broken or smashed, right? And on the ground level, there is also a kitchen that has a back door that leads out into the garden.
Smashed.
And pretty much everything is all broken, yeah. In terms of repairs, repairing the roof will cost about 600 gold of materials and take about 7 days of work. Oh, sorry. The materials for the roof will cost 300 gold, and then it will cost about, if you wanted to hire somebody to come and do the work, is a 300 gold labor fee, right? Replacing the windows will cost 20 gold per window, and there are 14 of them in total.
Not double glazed, clearly.
And then when you think about the garden and the state that you saw it in, that will probably take about 7 days of manual labor, and that will cost about 200 gold to do, if you were to hire people to do it.
Okay.
Wait a second.
Doing nothing.
This guy's making me do adult things in my D&D.
We need a mortgage.
But as you were going around that and as you were examining the kitchen and things like that, you hear the kind of,
That took a second.
He knew what he was doing.
Scientists were able to recreate a single sound.
That's
one of my
Rowan's,
favorite.
or...
It was the same noises that Rowan made earlier, I believe. It was very similar, right?
Very similar.
When you kind of like go that, you hear that, and we're gonna have you go at the end of the initiative, which makes perfect sense, right? But Ophelia, you are actually like, you snap back into action and you see this tight vine wrapped around Rowan's leg.
That thing's come alive, my leg.
What do you do?
I will, Ophelia will use her whip to try and pull the vine off of Rowan's leg to try and loosen it.
Yeah, so you basically want to try and free him from the grapple, basically. Yeah, sure. So basically you can do the action to try and free Rowan.
Can I rage, please?
Yeah, you certainly can. You kind of, that dun-dun, 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 as your heart begins to beat, the vision goes red, the whip wraps around this vine, and you tug. This is going to be a athletics check for you, opposed by the vine's athletics.
All right.
To try and break free.
He gets really pissed off by gardening.
It was manual labour. I feel
Been there, yeah.
Fair.
14.
14, you tug and tug, but this thing is like latched on. Unfortunately, I rolled a 16. So you are trying to free this thing, but it is just wrapped around Rowan's leg tightly. It's your action to try and do that, by the way. Anything, you've used your bonus action, you've used your action.
Call out for Gruff?
Yeah, free actions just be like, help, Gruff, help, that kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. The vine, unfortunately, goes next. It has you grappled, so I make this attack with advantage. That is going to be 13, Rowan.
Yep.
That does hit.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend another one on my fate dice.
Oh, you minx.
Because that is going to be 7 points of piercing damage, because it is the thorns kind of piercing into your skin. And yeah, there's this kind of like numbness, this cold that this whole vine is emanating, and you still connected to the land in that way. This is like
almost like vengeance and bitterness and sort of sadness and sorrow. These plants are almost lashing out on behalf of that darkness. Do you know what I mean?
It's infected by it.
Yeah, and you are still grappled, unfortunately. And then we go to Rowan.
Rowan's going to try and equip his longsword and try and cut this vine.
Try and chop down. Yeah, sure,
and
go for
basically
it.
just try and get out of grapple.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I mean, so there's two different things here because you can use your action to try and break the grapple, which is to like physically pull this thing off you. Or if you want, you can just attack the vine and try and just kill it, and then that would stop it.
Yeah, I think his natural reaction would be to try and slice it.
Sure, all right. So it's an attack roll then.
Natural 20.
Oh, even better.
23.
Alrighty, so give me the damage roll. I will also tell you, so it's maximized. We're going to use our crunchy crits. So whatever is the, what is it,
It's a D10.
So 10.
10 plus a 5, so 16 total.
Is that with your strength bonus as well? Or?
Yeah, the plus 1.
Okay, so 16 total. I will also tell you that this vine is vulnerable to slashing damage, so it's doubled. So 32 points of damage. With one fell chop, the vine is sliced.
I'm not your enemy.
The dead bit of the vine that was wrapped around your leg just relaxes and lets go as soon as it's separated. And you almost, the two of you watch as this bush almost kind of like shuffles backwards and recoils from Rowan temporarily.
Are you okay?
It's my new clothes.
Oh, we can just get that patched
Torn those trousers up.
The land is quite...
Gruff, that's the point you would come in. We do come out of initiative, the vine is destroyed, but you would then burst out like, oh, you've heard Ophelia calling for your help, and you see the last remnants. You wouldn't see the bush move, you just see like Rowan's torn leg, blood, you see the dead vine, and that's what you see.
Just what we need. The shrubbery is alive. I knew it.
I've never seen shrubbery move like that before, no. There's something wrong with this land. It's got a darkness to it.
As you say that, you hear like the front door open.
Piece of jam in this. There's some jam in this cake. It is wonderful.
Carrying
Come
this
back,
like,
we come-
very pink like wooden box with a little bow wrapped around it.
Hi everyone.
So sneaky.
What's shit's haunted.
Why? Yeah.
Don't say shit. What?
Oh yeah, the house is definitely haunted.
Tavern's haunted.
That's haunted.
Moon's haunted. Gun.
We spoke with
Maeve
from Latte Fun.
A
It's
Latte
a cafe just
Fun.
down the road. Latte Fun.
And you know what? Her cafe is a
You should try
Yeah,
these
the
coffees.
shrubbery came alive and attacked Rowan. We've got some
Yes.
more pressing deeds right here, right now. I've got to stop the bleeding.
Oh, stop the
okay?
bleeding! Stop the
Yes.
bleeding! I'm just wanted to say, we were right. Haunted, scarred lady. That's what they're calling it. The ghost.
God, lady.
Scarred
Brilliant.
lady. Yeah.
scarred lady.
A ghost.
A ghost.
Yeah.
Yes, I wanted to
Spirit.
ask you about this. Can you speak with ghosts? Can you deal with ghosts?
You said you were friends. Can you tell your friend to leave?
It depends what you mean by, well, it depends what the kind of friend they are, I suppose. On Ostius, there's the House of Shadows, and they're wraiths and they're spectral, but they're mainly, their main purpose is espionage. They spy on the other houses, give us juicy details of information.
Is there any
You
that
would
would
also-
smash windows because she smashes all the windows?
And lights.
So you would know, for Ophelia's benefit, that the House of Shadows, the actual undead members of the House of Shadows are like, they are still thinking conscious beings, like wraiths. They maintain most of their personality and things like that. Ghosts, wraiths, similar spirits like that. There are a lot of spectral undead that the House of Shadows commands, but they are almost like Percival and skeletons. They aren't really thinking of their own. They kind of follow orders, or they are acting. They sometimes can act just on pure emotion. So sometimes they'll be summoned for like a purpose or a battle, and they'll just attack and do things. But in terms of like, one that like smashes things and things like that, like, you know that there are poltergeists, like ghosts that are able to telekinetically control the environment around them. Make a Arcana check for me. Let's see how much you actually know specifically about these types of undead and what their capabilities and information about them.
Okay. 9.
9. I'm going to remind you as well, don't forget, you've got these to spend, but you have to do it before the roll. With a 9, Ophelia, you were focused on the House of Blood, and, you just didn't study, really, the other types of undead. Like, you know that a poltergeist is a ghost that can move objects. You don't really know anything more about them.
Sure.
I could at least try and speak to them on some level, I suppose, but my knowledge is fairly limited.
Possibly, but I mean, from the stories we heard, no one has been hurt by this. So this,
Ow.
you okay, Rowan?
Oh, just the thorns went in.
Right. Do you want a coffee cake? We got coffee and cake for everybody.
Coffee
The
cake.
cakes are really nice.
Yes.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, you've really cheered up very quickly.
I would love that.
Well, there you go.
Please, can I have that?
Yes, there you go. Don't think about your leg. Just take the cake.
It really hurts.
Don't think about it. Just enjoy your
Okay,
cake.
I'm gonna
There's
eat.
little bits of jam inside the cake as well. It's very nice.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
And I had cinnamon on my coffee as well. So stop looking at the leg.
I ate the cake.
Apparently there was apparently the church was not too happy with this place being called the enticing devil, and the previous owners had trouble because of that, and apparently someone was murdered here.
Excuse me, what now? What was that?
Nobody's murdered.
That's what they said after it was abandoned. Someone was murdered.
I said what I said.
Oh, I can't remember that part. I was writing notes.
You can make an intelligence check if you want to try and remember. But
That's fine.
You literally said someone was murdered after it was abandoned.
did I? Okay.
Dude, I'm going to edit the podcast.
Great.
You'd think I'd remember more generally,
I'm
right?
not saying you're wrong, Tom.
Cut to Tom.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Tomorrow.
I'm saying I said
Headphones off.
I said what I said.
Oh, can you put that in the VOD? That'd be so funny.
Can you please make a TikTok where it's like 36 minutes earlier?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll make an intelligence check. Boom.
Well, I was kind of joking because I can't.
All right.
He can't remember anything.
I said what I said.
Maybe it happened.
I didn't say he was wrong. I just said I said what I said.
Maybe it
You
happened.
make notes on what
Maybe
I
it
say, then that's fine.
All I know for certain, I'll be honest,
Spicy.
I stopped listening for a second around that time.
They were
So
laughing too much. I
it
was
might-
distracted.
No, I mean, this is Anthea's talking, like, maybe that happened, maybe it didn't happen. Maybe next time we'll have for certain whether or not this happened.
Little kids have been scared by it a lot.
They hear wailing at night,
Wailing.
you know, ghost stuff.
There is
They
a
see
darkness.
They see the scarred lady. So
Scarred lady.
yeah, she breaks all the windows. So that's why there's none of them.
Right.
Okay.
Let me tell you what you really should be scared about. And that is the fact that the Draconic Majesty, Duke Ignarius, has given us a money sink.
Technically, we don't have to do anything with it.
Why a money sink?
Oh, let me tell you, Xanthias, the roof itself is going to take 600 gold to fix.
600?
Every single window in this place, 20 gold.
Do we
14
need a roof?
windows.
Do we need windows?
14 windows.
I think-
Basement full of damp.
Now, think about
Full
it.
of damp.
If we replace the
Garden
windows, Scarlet
going to
Lady will
take
smash them.
200 gold in 7 days. And now that we know that the shrubbery is enchanted, that's probably going to be even
Yeah,
more.
we need to figure that one out as well. Yeah, I mean, yes, it's what
It's
it
a
is.
fixer-upper.
It's a fixer-upper and a ghost.
And how much gold do we have right now?
Well, not much now, but like I mentioned when we were speaking with the Duke, we've been doing good work for
We've
people.
been stitched up.
No, well,
Stitched up.
This
we
could
have.
be the second time we've been stitched up, actually, because the Lamplighters Guild was not as straightforward.
no, and we
Deal.
didn't get the money.
Stitches.
Oh, my leg!
Yes, it's.
Take a
I
sip.
mean, but think. Okay, close your eyes. Imagine this place.
Gruff just
Hold
has
on.
his eyes open,
Last time I
staring at
did
his
that, I was
Xanthias.
attacked by a vine.
Okay, don't close your eyes. Someone keep that. I'm going to keep my eyes open, and you're not following.
close
Okay,
one eye.
fine. But just imagine what this place could be. Imagine if that pole wasn't 45 degrees to the left. Imagine if this fence wasn't on the ground and broken into several
flooring.
pieces.
You see that hole there? That's where my foot went through.
I mean, if you have a
Rotten.
heavy foot.
Termites.
Now we walk through this place slightly
Woodworm.
lightly for a while. Woodworm, we can. I'm trying to stay positive here. This could be a lovely place. Could be.
Need to pay the right person.
Pay the right people.
With what money?
The money we get from all of our jobs, we are.
Don't say that word.
We're all of our.
Oh, okay, so
jobs.
we should go to the Lamplighters Guild and cash in on the job that we got. What was it? 200 for every lamp installed. The one lamp that we did get installed, we broke.
Well, that was for very good reason in our defense.
Oh, let's go tell them that. A very good reason, 200 gold, that can fix like what? A couple of lights. Oh, the garden.
You could do a couple of windows.
10
but
windows.
but
Daisy's gonna go up to Gruff with the nice pink cake.
He just smushes it in his claw. Like he's gonna eat it, but like he's so wound up. It's not finessed. It's just a pick, smush, into mouth. Crunching. Crumbs everywhere.
But keep in mind where we were before.
Angry
Not you
eating.
when you're hungry.
Yeah. Angry eating is happening.
But before, when we were paying for...
Do you remember?
Eat a Snickers.
Do you remember when Ree shoved an entire mince pie in her mouth?
I love that. That was great.
Yeah.
That was great.
But before this, we were paying for a place with the the place... Name I've already forgotten. We were paying for a place, and we're not
Clever
paying.
Toad, how dare you?
Clever Toad.
Would you like, out of character knowledge, there is a great benefit that if you do fix this place up, there are
could-
great benefits to it as well.
Yeah.
You will be able
you could
to
run a pub and get some passive income.
You can get passive income if you set up as a tavern, or if you wanted it to be like a kind of like you have it more as like a home, but you could have things like an alchemy lab maybe built here, or you could have things like an enchanting room, or like you could have a shrine. You can have like really comfortable furniture. If you spend that money and bring that stuff in, you might be able to get inspiration every time you rest here and stuff like that. It's up to you. You will have a property that you can tell me what you want to do with, and then there'll be benefits to it.
Yes, we don't have money right now, and no, we don't have the ability to fix this place, and maybe we can't get rid of the ghost that might kill us on our sleeps, but...
You don't have to sleep here until the ghost is dealt with, because I refuse.
Well, we'll get to the bottom of that one straight away. That feels like priority number one. But consider that we managed to find a job with a potentially corrupt guild that would pay us 200 per lamp, and that was before we had any story. We weren't anybody. We just came to this town and we picked up a job on a board. Now we're speaking with the Duke, hailed us as heroes, and everyone in the town saw that.
Yes.
They might come to us.
The pillars of peace will prosper. The pillars of prosperity will have our home. The pillar home. The pillars of power.
I think we're going to still workshop that. Yeah, we can workshop it.
We'll get there. It will happen.
Pillar.
That seems locked in. And yet that seems like the word I'm having the most trouble with.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Let's deal with this scarred lady.
Before it rips off a leg.
Gruff.
What?
Think about how nice it would be to live here and look over the tournament ground.
It's right next to the tournament grounds.
The tournament is in 9 days.
8 days now.
8 days now.
No,
And
but
this is not getting fixed
I'm
up.
thinking
in
long
8
term,
days.
Gruff. Long term.
All the tournaments.
Lady Daisy, I appreciate what you're saying, but it was never in my intention to settle down. I have a home. I have a wife. I have a family. I love what's going on here, but I am not fixing new routes anywhere.
You have a wife?
You heard about this a couple of days ago.
Yes, you responded the exact same way.
You did.
I still have a wife.
What colour is her fur?
She still calls me a miser. I think she'd be rather upset if I suddenly sent her a letter. Oh, darling wife, I've got a new house. It's a bit haunted. There's no windows. It's down in the south.
Well, to be fair, we
Bring
didn't
everyone.
buy it. And
Who's everyone?
What?
Bring everyone. Would you bring like your whole village here? Is that? Could you bring everyone here?
Could they fix the house?
Do the fishermen know how to fix things well?
We are a hardy and practical people.
You have contact.
Solution!
The only problem is they are quite far away.
It will take a few months,
take
and also,
And the tournament
it
in 8
means the
days.
village is abandoned and all the commerce is gone because there's no one to fish.
Your wife could live with us.
Also, not necessarily a home. We don't have to call this a home. Could be
Base of operations.
base of operation. We could turn it into a tavern. Oh, it's a different name. I think that's recommended.
This is our home.
My only worry is I have things I would like to accomplish, and spending time fixing this up, as lovely as it could potentially be, is taking away from my time working on those things.
I'll do the lawn.
Well, you have already started, yes.
Yes.
Magnificent job.
Well,
you
it
did.
worked on me.
Yes.
Well, I'm willing to put the time in and to make this as good as I hope it can be. I have stuff to do as well.
Yes.
I mean, like I said, it's definitely a case of like
Try and jump up to it.
you can pay people to do the work. Like you don't necessarily have to do stuff. Like if you make some gold, you can pay people to do the work. I will tell you, knowing what you know, it will be very difficult to get people to work on this building whilst it is haunted.
No.
Yeah, I know.
You don't say.
But it is definitely doable. Like I said, it's if you guys want to turn it into a tavern, if you guys want to do it into a base of operations or in a little guild, or you can do whatever you want with it.
House of worship.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not saying that you cannot. I'm not saying no to working on it. I'm not saying no to you staying here and doing whatever you do. But I just want to make it clear, I'm not moving in here permanently.
You'll always have a room here.
I appreciate that, Rowan. I appreciate it greatly.
Why must you leave?
So, what is your plan? It is about sort of 10, 11-ish a.m. You have a whole day.
Did
Do
these
as you wish.
the coffee? Did you bring cup? Like, what kind of cup is it in?
It's like a little wooden cup.
Wooden cup.
There is a kind of expectation that you bring the cup back. Normally, if you pay for it, you basically hire a cup, or you can bring your own. But with this one, I think maybe they were included as a part of the welcoming gift. They're like little wooden cups. They have a little symbol of a cow's bell, and it just it has written above it a latte. Fun. But it's like the symbol of like a cow's bell on a little meadow, like a little grassy meadow. It's like a little emblem.
Lovely.
Could I experiment with something with the cup?
Sure. I haven't finished. Hang on.
Actually, no, you're a gold dragon. Delicious. It's a bit cold.
Can I take the cup and just put it on the bar, like, and then just step back and stare at it?
Yeah, you stare at it.
What's the plan? What are you thinking?
Nothing happens.
I want the ghost to come out and smash this cup.
I mean, it's a wooden
I'm
cup.
watching. Where all the wooden furniture is smashed.
Well,
we
we-
sit in a throne of smashed furniture.
True.
Watching the cup.
Velia, how would we communicate to call upon the ghost to try and figure out how to, I guess, deal with it?
Interesting. I suppose, well, she had a name, didn't she?
I only know her as the Scarred Lady.
Scarred Lady? Well, I guess just call her by her name, I suppose, if she has a name.
We could find out.
Scarred lady, come out. Smash this cup. Present for you.
Nothing seems.
Well, the previous owner was called Kavon?
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah.
You hear a kind of hissing wind, like the wind picks up and through the hole in the building, the kind of and the rafters of like the kind of wooden boards that you normally like close at night on the tavern, a bunch of them kind of like move.
Scary things don't happen in the daytime. Scary things don't happen in the daytime.
Kavon!
The intensity now, it's like the shutters really begin to violently slam. The cup on the bar goes flying off.
Shadow Shifter! Make your presence known to us.
She's really quite good.
She's good at this.
You
Would like to leave.
You do not see any sort of figure appear. Make an Arcana check for me, Ophelia. Daisy, you're like backing out the door at this point, I'm assuming. Like the boards all kind of go still after a moment. 15. When you say that, like obviously you've provoked some sort of response, but a lot of spirits and specters struggle to manifest in daylight. And with the damage to the building, it's kind of hard for it to be enshrouded in, like there's no shadows really for anything to be here. Maybe the basement, which would be dark enough. But yeah, a lot of spirits can't manifest in bright daylight in this way. Like they can do things like, obviously they have some power over this place. And you suspect that is not the things that happened to the windows and the cup, that was not the spirit moving them. The spirit has a kind of mastery over this building because it's been cemented here. It kind of has power. I'll reveal to you that this is basically like a lair action. It has the ability to affect. This is the poltergeist's lair, and
okay.
this means it has power over the environment
Now,
here.
Yes.
We should not anger this wonderful lady because it's going to up the cost of repairs.
Bloody hell, don't say that. That's the scariest thing I've heard all day.
The shutters were going. They were coming off the
know.
hinges. I saw it.
I swear to the
It
silence.
is kind of creaking from rusted hinges.
Well, in that case, it might be best if we just take a step outside,
Yeah.
Take a
I'm
breather.
already
take a
outside.
breather, and
Daisy's like
I'm
peering
in
through
the
the door.
garden.
we follow Daisy.
Daisy's doing the Scooby and Shaggy thing, like.
I'm in the garden.
Are you in the garden?
I'm in.
Can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please, Daisy? You said you're in the garden and things were happening.
Dexterity saving throw.
Roll the dice.
Please.
7, 8, 9, 12.
12 is not enough. You take 5 points of piercing damage as one of these vines snakes out and wraps around your arm. As you're kind of on the door, there's like a big overgrown thorny ivy that's crawling up the building, and it lashes around your arm and grabs on, and you are now grappled. Can I get an initiative from everybody once again, please?
Back in. Oh no.
No.
Nope.
You're on your own, kid.
Well, maybe. We'll see. Ophelia.
4.
4. Rowan.
4.
Hey.
Gruff.
7.
Ballsy.
Xanthius.
14.
So
14.
fast.
Daisy.
7.
7. Xanthius, you are the first to react. You hear like a yelp from Daisy.
Yeah, I'm
Something
also.
grabs her.
I mean, I was looking out the door as it happens. I guess everyone else is shitting. The vines. No, I can't. They're on a wooden thing. What do I have to like?
What?
Slash at them. I want to just try and grab the vine and sort of pull it loose.
Yeah, you can use an action to try and break the grapple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's an athletics check to try and do that.
Athletics. Okay. I was thinking of using fire. Is
Oh, we
I was
use
getting-
fire on the vine.
The vines are crawling up the wooden side of the building, basically. Yeah, there definitely could be a risk of you.
Build a new building cheaper than we can fix.
yeah.
That is not true. I will tell you that now. It would be considerably more money to try and build a whole new building.
You're trying to give Gruff a heart attack here. Come on.
I got a 5.
A 5. You
Not enough,
pull
yeah.
and pull and pull, and yeah, unfortunately, are not able to pull it free.
Fair enough. That's that's me. I don't want to.
Yeah, no.
Fires or,
Gruff and Daisy. I think Daisy has the higher dex, so Daisy.
I will do a summon of a radiant blade and
Sure.
at the vine.
Yeah. You're going to throw it because it would be at disadvantage because it's within 5 feet. But you can
I
just
can
you
summon
can
it in
strike.
my hand.
Yeah, you can make a
Do
melee attack with it. Yeah.
instead.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll do that.
But it's piercing damage, isn't it? Oh, no, it's radiant damage.
Radiant.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know.
Or I could do it with my knife.
Well,
said.
piercing would be maybe not as effective.
Probably shit. It's only a 10 to hit, so.
A 10 to hit is just barely not enough. It's actually more that you hit the vine, but the blade, the energy is just not able to cut through it and deep enough. It
Bonus
kind of glances
action.
off.
12 to hit.
12 hits.
Rolling like garbage.
You just hit.
Yeah, but
No sneak attack, unfortunately, just normal.
why not?
He did not. Well, he moved up closer.
I was
to it.
helping
Yeah,
to
that's true.
sort of
Yeah, no, I
follow.
forgot that he moved up. Yeah, okay, so there would be sneak attack.
What type of damage is sneak attack? Is
It matches whatever you do with the attack.
Okay.
Sneaky,
Annoyingly.
Sneaky
That's cool.
type.
So if the radiant with the radiant thing is, I believe, more radiant damage.
Nice.
Nine.
9 points of damage. The radiant energy cuts through. It doesn't quite burn all the way through, but you burn a significant chunk, and the vine kind of rides, and it does stay attached, but it is badly burnt, almost brittle enough to break away, but it's still holding just barely on.
Okay.
Gruff.
I'm going to come storming out, and I'm just going to say, if you don't bloody behave, I'm going to set you on fire and burn you down to ash, and then I'm going to attack it with my staff.
Okay.
I'm using a fate dice, by the way.
17, I didn't need to. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Wow.
Definitely hits, but it is bludgeoning with your staff,
Yeah.
so it is going to be resistant because it is a vine. It's resistant to bludgeoning damage, I'm
6
afraid.
points.
6 points, so 3. Still enough. It was weakened enough by the Radiant Blade that with the bludgeoning you kind of wedge it and pull it and it snaps away, breaks away from Daisy and is freed, and it kind of scurries and moves a little.
You've been told. Behave yourself.
Thank you, Grub. I'm going to stand outside on the street.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I want to. If the garden's not safe, I'm going to go on the road.
Right, I'm getting a priest, okay? That's what I'm doing. A priest.
They had priests.
An
come here
old priest
before.
and a young priest.
They investigated with priests before. It was called
didn't do
the
anything.
enticing devil.
Yes, but now they'll have my wrath.
Let me talk to it. Let me see if I can reason with it at least before we get priests involved.
Do you think it's the Scarred Lady is controlling the vines as well, or is that a whole separate thing?
It's hard to know. I said I can see if I can maybe reason with it to some degree. I don't know how well that will do. Ghosts can just be angry, and that's it.
Okay, well, we can try to find out more about this woman as well. Like I said, the house was previously owned by someone called Kavon.
Don't say the name again!
We're far enough away.
You guys did, yeah, Xanthius is out on the street now.
Actually, when I say it, the entire house.
Does that thing in The Shining, you know, it just glows and then it disappears.
Blood.
And apparently it was owned by him and
His wife.
and his wife.
And then she left him.
And then she left. Although, I mean, I guess not. I don't know.
She just said that she left him, and because he named it really badly, the church didn't like it, and it drove business away, and then she left him because...
I've heard horror stories like this. It's what we do in the evenings. We tell horror stories. Her body's probably in the wall or something.
In the walls. The walls, which thankfully are... There's holes in the walls.
Oh,
so we could probably find... If there's a body in there, we could find it. If there's one in the basement, we can find it. Whatever we need to do to clear the ghost and then make this place... safe. Right? What's wrong?
Just the whole thing, the haunting thing is just a little overwhelming. We met a dragon earlier today, and now...
Yeah, what time is it? It's only 11.
11 in the morning.
There's so much left of the day.
Also, the fish stew isn't sitting well.
Rowan, come here, my lad. And I'll put an arm around him.
Hello.
It glows. I cast Cure Wounds.
Thank you.
Level... How fucked do you look?
He was hit real bad.
The blood is spraying from my thigh.
Okay, level 2 then.
Every pump of the heart just sprays more. Luckily, Rowan has a very low heart rate, so it's like once every 12 seconds.
13 points of healing.
Ooh, thank you.
It's that slow.
Ophelia, behave yourself.
I will.
Oh yeah, there was blood all over my leg.
You fed quite recently, though. You fed the other night, yeah.
I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad.
Oh, it's pulsing juicy blood down my big thigh.
I'm in no mood
Oh,
for
I
shenanigans.
can't rub it all over. Oh,
It's just everywhere.
oh it's all
No
over my
mood for
body.
Asked me to
shenanigans.
bite you, wouldn't you?
Oh, it'd be awful.
Hated. Oh.
I don't have a king. All out of character.
Oh, I don't know if this is real.
No, this is real.
But it is going into the night calendar.
Yeah, Rowan's
Rowan
gonna go.
covered in blood.
Rowan's gonna go visit Meg.
This
later
one's
as
for the
well. Another one of
vampires.
his kinks.
Milk for the big daddy.
And with that, we're gonna end today's episode. It's gone.
Rihanna's left.
With that, that is where we're going to end episode 14, His Draconic Majesty. Thank you all so much for joining
We
us.
just threw mini chatters at.
We will see you next
See you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.